Married to my sister.
That's kind of important.
I was just waiting for it.
Welcome, race fans. Watermelons and Woodchips, presented by Central Iowa Diesel Performance, and we are on episode 36.
Candyman Jeff Wiggy.
Yes. Josh is out of the office today.
He's working.
Yeah, we got the TV going on the other side.
Yeah.
Watching a little racing up at Independence Motor Speedway, and Josh is up there. Him and Colton are up there helping out with that deal this week.
It wasn't quite as good as what was on the TVs the first day we got internet up here, and the old G-Man had the old lady out for supper, but
yes,
it's going to work great.
Yes.
I mean, it looks good in here. It's starting to get homey. Yeah, what an event, a great event going on up there at the Sandbox Independence Speedway as we speak. So if you're wanting to test for the Clash on the Coast, that is the place to go and do that at. And we've been watching some pretty good racing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Man, I got the best seat in the house.
Yeah,
like,
I'm
just looking right past the cameras, right to the TV. But, this thing is coming together it's pretty sweet.
Yeah, turn the Barntown light on, bud.
Oh, yeah. Here we go.
Yep.
It's good.
Right.
Aaron, how's that? Does that mess up your lighting, G? Are you good?
She's good.
But the only thing we're missing in here, I feel like, is we got to get some sort of an arcade machine up here.
I've been surfing online.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we need a bigger fridge. But
like Excite Bike or Big Buck Hunter or something like that.
Well, no, they filled it full of beer, no water. I'm like, boys, I need a couple of waters.
Well, Barntown hooked us up that day.
Yeah.
We went there, so we had to have a place to store it. But, the BDE HQ is coming along nicely in here. It's been pretty fun to see it grow. But we have the go-kart Mozart with us. Chris Burke, owner of Capital Signs, married to my sister.
That's kind of important.
I was just waiting for it. But I'm just saying.
Yeah. So, Topless Two-Fer's coming up. Well, actually, I was wondering, are we going to call this thing like the Topless Three-Way? Or
Oh, that's a good one, man.
Topless Triple Crown or something. But we can get into that here in a little bit. But, yeah, he's here talking about the Topless race. We have now Sport Mods, Modifieds, and the Mod Lights all voted. So they're going to do it as well.
They vote with one finger. Or they just
I think probably you did get to you did
Boys,
get the finger
Saturday night, I get the call from the bus man. Stephen Kennedy messages me and says, "Hey, Dad, hurt his back and don't know if real bad." And he's like, "Would you be interested in running the car?" And I'm like, "Oh man, I don't know, like." And then I'm like, "Yeah, I'll do it, And so. I went down there Saturday to hop in the thing and check it out for hot laps, and man, what an experience. I was out there doing the finger dance and shit. Like, the steering wheel's small in it, and it's like they got this little screen in there that tells you what gear you're in.
What can you compare it to driving wise? Anything like you've been in before?
No, like, it's like you've done go-kart stuff.
Yep.
So imagine your go-kart with a 1200. How many cc's are there? Are they 1250 or 1300s?
I think there's something like that. I just know the power to weight on them is like insane.
It's insane.
When I look at them, I think they're probably somewhere. I know you've said it before, like a non-wing sprint car or like a midget, realistically. With some more body work.
Well, the throw on the throttle's about that much.
Wow.
Okay, and I'm like, why is it like that? Well, think about it, dumbass. It's on a cable. So it's, and I have a motorcycle, so it's like you twist. I'm in there like, got the shifter. The clutch is on there. I'm like, okay. We get out there and they run in third gear. And so I get out there in second. And when I was going down the pit area, I was like trying to see if I could feel it, or like in our cars, you can feel it, and it's so smooth. I didn't know. I'm like, oh, wait, look. It says I'm in third gear already, and I'm just like putzing, Well, throttle control, a little tough for the Bobcat out of the gate. So Mike's got power steering on his, plus he has a quickener, so it's 3/4 of a turn lock to
Holy
lock.
smokes.
Yeah.
That's fast.
That's fast. So Logan drops the rag. I'm out there because like I say, the cockpit is the size of a big car.
Yep.
Okay. So they drop the rag. We go down into turn 1 and 2, and I come out of the corner, and the thing is shaking, and I'm like, buck up, baby, and hang on to this thing and drive. And I go down in on the chip, and it just felt like a big car. Actually, it didn't feel. The only thing that I felt different was how fast I was really going and how close to the ground I am compared to.
Right. I can see that.
I don't know. It's just kind of weird. I feel like when we're sitting in a mod light and compared to my stock car, and it's probably not that much different, but it just felt like I was hauling ass.
You think car awareness and stuff like that, you could see a lot more in terms of where your front tires are, all that stuff.
I couldn't see the front tires, but Mike's down. He's a big boy.
Yep.
He's down in that seat, and I was comfortable to where I could actually drive it, and I felt pretty good. However, Bob Moore was out there, and it's every time we're on the racetrack, we're magnets. So, and I didn't know this at the time. I had no idea this was him, but we come around 3 and 4, and I'm I make a good lap, and I'm all right, I'm going to bury this thing in on the top because it looks pretty grippy and everything.
Let's see what this feels like.
Yeah, let's see what it feels like, And this car, I can see the car. It's down here, and I'm back here, and I'm okay, on the straightaway, I'm here, and he doesn't see me, and I'm uh-oh.
We're in the danger zone.
Yep, because everybody's don't go in, turned right, and slide right. That's what makes them roll, is when you got everything going one direction. But I was actually scared shitless, and I just went in there and buried it and stood on it. It's kind of it reminded me of a sport mod. Mike's car did, how it felt. I could go in and I could feel the car roll over on the right rear.
And you had confidence in it.
And I had confidence in it, yeah.
Yep.
And I just drove around there, but I couldn't believe how fast they are.
And BZ's doing it one-footed.
That was the other thing. I tried it. Don't know how he does it.
Tried it.
And now I can kind of see how he does it a little bit because I forgot to start the timer. Because like I said, the throttle is this long. So if he just touches it, and you can go back to wide open.
That's what I was gonna say. You're on or you're off.
Yeah, literally. And getting out of the top, it was weird climbing on the decking, or put your foot up on the tire, climb on the decking, and then crawl up in there. But they got a fan. They got a fan on a switch. Yep. Mike, not a lot of them. I know Landon Elliott, Eric Elliott was giving me shit. He come down. I don't know if Brian punched him or if he caught a toe from his old lady, but he had a black eye.
Oh, he got smoked by a softball.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
All right, the other two sounded better.
Yeah. So he's Lexi and Haley coach a softball team together, and Eric helps. And I think he was catching. Girl hit a foul ball.
Yeah. So
right in the goal.
I was giving him shit about that, and he's like, Landon don't even have power steering. I'm like, well, quit being a tight ass and buy a power steering then. You don't need it. But
builds character.
Yeah. Well, once you're going, it's not bad. Probably in one of them little cars.
Sure.
Right.
But a big car, handful.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, let's jump into results, right? So Austin Gray, our boy, got back to victory lane after, he hasn't been back to victory lane since he put a big tumble on that in that thing.
Yeah.
So
he just kind of had some shitty luck, really. Mm-hmm. But he's been super fast.
Yeah, he was second last week, I think. Yeah, so Kellen's calling me.
Did you think about that at all? If I get this thing upside down, what's that going to feel like? Not trying to jinx you or knock on wood type deal, but
it's when you go to do something and you ask the do's and the don'ts. What do you do? What don't you do? Mike's like, just drive it. I'm like, okay, all right. So then even Jimmy May was telling me, I was like, man, I've known Jimmy or have seen Jimmy around the track for a long time, and he's a big involvement in the Mod Light deal. And I was just like, man, it was just very appreciative of, what they've turned that little series into, for one.
Yeah.
And for two, it's like, come on, Mod Light guys. There's like 300 or 400 of them in the whole sanction, is what Jimmy was telling me. Let's get like 300 of them at Super Nationals.
Right.
Like, we haven't reached 100 yet. And I thought that he had. And he said that their car count last year was 89 or 87 or something. High 80s.
It's definitely cool to see him at some of the tracks down south and whatnot.
Yeah.
You know, and just kind of the following that they have, you know, across the country. That's not just, you know, this pocket, but there's a lot of good guys all over the place. And I think a fair amount of them do travel, but
I didn't know that they were doing all that travel and stuff when they were like going to like, they were at Volusia.
yep.
Like, that was pretty sweet. I mean, I wonder what gear they get in there. I mean, they got to be hauling ass down there
Yeah,
at that place.
That's just a different mentality, I would think.
I mean, that's got to be, they got to be 130, 140.
Should have the radar sign down there to see them
If we can get it
things.
if we can ever get it to work.
It works great on the cautions.
Okay, here, let's do this. If anybody is listening that knows how to run the
Yes.
DOT speed zone thing, everybody's like, well, it catches you when you're going slow. I'm like, guys, it's a speed trap machine. It will read over 100 mile an hour.
Well, so the first time we did,
Did you shut it off this week?
I don't know if anybody even turned it on.
I turned it on. We turned it on and we're messing with it, so the battery.
Somebody must have, because I didn't see it work after features.
I was thinking about this just when I was out there because I saw it. I'm like, man, it'd be sweet if that thing worked right now. Because I remember Wahoo telling me a story about the one that they had at Harlan at one point in time. And just, you know, and if you had it angled just right, that you could catch yourself and catch the second car. And if you had like just a flash where you could see the guy behind you and you could be like, that dude's 2 miles per hour faster than I am.
Yeah.
That's not good. I better pick it up, you know.
Right.
But
That's why I hate the big screens. It cost me the world when the World of Outlaws were here. Rocky Cottle drove around me on the outside.
Oh, yeah.
you just watched him do it too.
Watched him do it, literally, yeah.
Sorry, we just talked on top of each other.
No, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, what a race between him and OB, though. Austin and OB. That dude, is that the second one he's given away on the last corner? Second or third one?
Yeah.
I don't know. But, yeah, they got, the lap cars, and Austin just snookered him on the last lap again.
Somebody else got snookered that same night. We're about to talk about it here in a minute. I've been in that boat. Jake McBurney's done that to me so many damn times. It's tough. You just don't know where you need to be. It's... when you talk about your signal man, like 90% of the time they help you, the other 10% of the time they fuck you.
Right.
But, being a signal man at times, you don't even know what to,
Right.
Even though you can see it, it's like, and then if your driver really trusts you, he'll listen to you.
You don't want to send bad information or second guess yourself on something like that. And you guys can off the rundown. We can get into that in here in a little bit because I was thinking some things while I was out there.
Right.
All right. Well, we'll get through this. So Austin Gray goes +6 to win. Kobe Oberam second. Grant Anderson third. Garrett Barber fourth. Joel Huggins fifth. In the Mod Lights. A feature one, like we said, CB25 led for a long time. You just didn't need those restarts really, because you were cooking there for a while.
I think we knew who we were going to have to race in that one, regardless of where we were going to be at. In terms of complexion, like how many yellows we had, and 2X and the 22 are some of the best in the business. So it's like, you're going to see them. And I was just watching the scoreboard the whole time. And I'm just like, and Swatek was up there. And I think I talked to you about that the other day. I'm just like, there's 222s?
Yeah.
I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah.
And, we just get towards the end of that deal and I start looking up and I think that's kind of one of the deals this year where it's like, we put ourselves in some pretty good positions to where, really having, any sort of advantage, whether it's a signal guy or something like that, where you can just kind of see where things are moving. And I know better. Track track progresses there. You can set your watch by it. That's one of the cool things about Boone is the fact that you know what you're going to get every night. You know how it's going to move around. And you know, even if there's 2 features or double features or whatever, you kind of got an idea about how things are going to work out. And I knew sooner or later I was going to have to contend with the old.
Well, the thing of it is, and I've been in this same position, it's like, is it the bottom or is it the top?
Yep.
And there's times where there's a caution comes out. We talked about it. The track doctors talked about it. When the caution comes out, I'm snail's paced.
Right.
I'm letting Sarah have as much time as she needs, even though they're pointing us to pack places, because you'll see Rod especially when we pull out of staging, and be like, let's roll the middle and get the crumbs rolled in. Well, that'll roll a lane in for a lap or two.
Well, so that was my thought process a little bit too, because if you're in the back of an invert or you're, late in a race and you're sitting there, like, I like to roll a little bit slower. I'll just put the thing in gear and I won't even touch the gas and just kind of go with it, just because I don't like jockeying around and stuff. And then if you're in a position where you're leading and you can kind of dictate where the rest of the cars go, and you can try to, and sometimes I think it might hurt you a little bit, but like, I'm just like, I kind of want to preserve this part of the racetrack a little bit. So let's just see if we can take these guys here instead of down there. And I think you can get away with that for a little bit until, you got the track doctor or somebody sitting there like, no, we're going to move you guys back down, because we can kind of see what you're doing there a little bit,
Well, absolutely. But even then, like, I think the worst thing about under cautions is like, lineup people, if you're listening, I'm just saying this as a driver, like, if you could like hurry up a little bit more and be a little more gooder at lining the cars up, I wouldn't lose as many races as I do, because I get in my own damn head. You know what I mean? Like, you're out there, or especially if you have like 2 or 3 yellows, like 1 or 2 laps and you get a yellow, and then another 1 or 2 laps and then another yellow. It's like, gosh dang,
I'll
I'm
say
just
this.
thinking about everything.
Just vouching for, a lot of the officials and everything, especially in central Iowa, because we have some of the best tracks in the country, top to bottom, from not just a facility standpoint and competition, but the people that are running the things. And if you think the lineups are moving a little slow, go to a go-kart race.
I would have been kicked out of a go-kart race before I even was in the go-kart race. You guys assholing each other on the starts and shit. I'd been in a fight. Not even a fight, just,
It's a deal, and it's something that's really kind of changed my perspective on that type of racing a lot, where I'm just like, why aren't we running these shows like stock car races, and why aren't we, trying to get through, and I'm not pointing fingers at anybody in particular or anything like that, but it's just a different mentality at that level than it is at this level. And I'm like, the way.
Is that just a go-kart thing?
I think it just kind of depends on where you're at and what kind of format you're racing. You got to remember you got kids that are learning and stuff like that. Right. But like my thought process with that, and not to get too off subject, was just like, if you got guys that aren't quite sure what's going on and you're not using receivers, because a lot of them don't use receivers unless it's like a major touring series or something like that. Just stop them.
Right.
There goes 5 freaking laps that are yellow, and you can just get it all sorted and just go with it. But
yes.
Yeah, so
it's crazy. Brock McCumber, doing the wing cart stuff, and I'm watching the videos, because they send the videos and they come out to the shop, and I'm just like, I'm telling him, I'm like, bud, run them over. They're running you over, or using him up, and it's like, it's consistent. It happens in that go-kart deal, it seems like, everywhere, but
it's definitely going to be, I think, for myself as a parent wanting to get your kids involved in racing and stuff like that. I kind of cringe sometimes when I'm standing on the fence that I'm at a go-kart race, anymore, because I think about it, that way, and I'm just like, I'm not ready for this, soccer mom, youth sports type stuff when it comes to that, because it's just, if you've been around racing and you know what to expect and you know what to tell your kids and stuff like that to move forward and do stuff, that's one thing. But, if you're there and you've never been around a racetrack before, it's really easy to fly off the handle and not cool off.
Well, and that's part of the reason why I never got the boys involved in it, because, for that reason, I'm like, just seeing how they run some of the stuff and how long it takes. And
it's a lifestyle, right?
Yep.
It is a serious lifestyle.
Yep.
And you better commit to doing that. And here's the thing. I feel like, this is with anything. You get in what you put out, or you get out of what you put into this deal, and it's a lot of money. It's a lot out of your parents.
You got to do a lot of homework, and you got to have parents that are committed to it.
Yeah.
You know, and it's, you know, all racing in general is cost inhibitive, but like, you know, at that level, just to try to get into an entry point to try to move on, depending on how you want to do it. If you want to race go-karts or you want to get into a big car or something like that. I mean, there's so many different ways to do it now that like it is a little bit easier in some cases. But yeah, I mean, you're eat, sleeping, and breathing it just like you are one of these things.
And that's people I think lose track of how much time it, like there's a lot of people that can handle it and, you know, get wrecked and don't. We're at Fort Dodge last night racing, and there was an incident, and the guy gets out of the car, and he's got his arms up in the air, and they're going and everything, and I'm driving around laughing. Not that he got wrecked, just the fact that
it wasn't you.
Well, I'm not the only one that swells my arms around and shit and gets pissed off about getting wrecked or. You know, like heat of the moment deal. And it's like, Dave Smith, I know you're listening. I heard what you said Saturday, mister. And I love it. But see,
it was so funny.
It was funny. I was laughing my ass off. I was changing my gear for Fort Dodge on Sunday, or, you know, in the shop when we were watching. I got a great kick out of it. It was Donovan Smith actually comes out of retirement and bust his car out, so I go down there to talk to him or whatever, and of course I'm pulling up and Dave's walking over there, and you know, it was all kosher. It was like, you know, nothing even happened, and that's how it should be. Right. And to get a little bit of shit from Dave, I thought that was pretty good.
I know, it was awesome.
I admired that a lot. But
we better get back on track. So Matt wins I think did we even talk about Matt winning that race or just
well, we just talked about.
I was there. We don't care about anybody else.
Yeah. So he got a good run off a top of 3 and 4, and I think it was just not by mistake, but he just went up there to try it because you guys were running lower and stuff, you know. And
that's what I went back and kind of watched it a little bit, and Nate kind of talked to me and kind of, you know, was telling me kind of where people were at during the course of that deal. And that's not the first time I've seen Matt do that this year.
Right.
I mean, I think honestly, and it's no slide, I know he's a low house car, but pound for pound, I think the 2X is probably, he's the stuff right now.
Hey,
especially in our area.
It's the airflow system.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
It did not work at Corning. Comes back to Boone. Okie dokes. I really thought, watching the race, why isn't Mike Smith up there? But it was because you were so good in the middle of the racetrack, man, and you were hitting your marks, and like that's the other thing. Why my dad tries to pound in my head all the time. You were racing the same place that got you where you were at. You hadn't seen anybody. You had nobody pressured you.
Can't hear anybody.
Right.
Know, there was one time late in that deal where I kind of, you know, I was kind of trying to tiptoe up there just because for me, I'm, you know, kind of my style, depending if I haven't been on one part of the track, I'm like, let's just kind of slowly move up there and see, you know, what it feels like. And when you got them guys, you can't really do that. You kind of just got to make a decision. And I saw a nose, and I'm like, well, I think we were better where we were at. So I'm just going to stay back down there. And then, all right, see ya.
Yeah. And that's how it happens, folks, right there, that quick. About 80 feet in the corner.
Yeah. So Matt Avila wins, had the airflow thing dialed up on the top side there. Mikey Smith goes second. CB25 goes third. Trevor Noonan goes fourth. Dayton Swatek had a pretty good run. Top 5 for him. Colby Grady goes plus 11 to 6. So for that one. Feature 2. Josiah Taylor ends up with the win. We will talk about how that all went down. But Josiah Taylor gets his first win out of this whole deal.
But they called the newspaper that night at the track.
Yeah.
But
it's awesome.
Did you see the picture that I posted of him and Matt?
Yeah.
So Matt, we're at the shop. We had no idea whatever happened at the track had happened.
You guys
were
out there fast.
Yeah,
I turned around and I'm just like, oh, see ya.
I'm like, it's 8:30. I'm like, let's go wash and get out of here and we'll pull the races up, you know. I'm like, wow. And Josiah has gotten significantly better.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The last, I'd say 2 years, honestly. And I don't say that because he's in a rage car, but
no, he definitely has.
And he's has the shittiest luck. Like, now that I feel like he's, he kind of put himself in some positions.
I was just gonna say, like, don't take this the wrong way, but he did. Some of that was self-inflicted. Where now he's figuring out, okay, I can't put myself in that spot.
I think we've all been there at some point.
We all have.
I remember, costing some guys some races early on.
100%.
Being somewhere I shouldn't have, and it's like, and you learn after the fact that you're just like, all right, this is what it should feel like. This is if something, just awareness, I guess, more so than anything else.
Right. But he's gotten.
They have tore up a lot of stuff this year. They've had a lot of good runs, a lot of mishaps, like a lot of bad luck. And you know what? He had to run second. I mean,
he had to be there.
He had to be there to win the race. I mean, if it wasn't him, it was going to be who ran third?
Camden Vincent.
Yeah, Camden.
Yep.
So and it's
Kyle Free was up there.
So yeah, because it was like, because Josiah, Camden, and Kyle were all pretty much racing each other for second at that point, and it was like they were in lap traffic and kind of moving around and racing hard. Jake was checked out on everybody, but those three were like the race for second, third, and fourth was on.
I mean, Kyle's been doing a hell of a job the last couple of weeks, and that's another.
He's been pretty decent all year.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just like, and he came out there wearing hot laps and. He's shown me the nose a few times, and I was just like kind of out for a cruise.
He hot lapped?
Oh yeah, he was out there with me, and I'm just like, he comes in, he's like, hey, I was underneath you. And I'm like, I saw you.
It's so funny because 2 weeks ago, he's, standing over where we stand, where we're all watching, which we're going to have a chat about that, bud. Because whoever the dickhead was that got me kicked out of my spot, well, I'm not kicked out, everybody else is. I'm just saying. But anyway, Kyle's over there, and they're hot lapping. I'm like, what are you doing? Wow. You don't need a hot lap. I'm like, when you start winning races, then you cannot hot lap. I said, I hot lap every time.
Get in your car and get out of there.
Well, he's like, I don't want to have to prep tires again. I'm like, hot laps ain't hurting your goddamn tires, bud. Right. So I didn't know that he hot lapped. So that's funny that he was hot lapping.
He was out there. We were out there just because we got into some stuff the week before eventing, which is a whole different deal. I mean, and it was just a misjudgment on my part. And
that's what's good, right? I mean,
and it sucked, but it's like, okay, we got to shake this thing down, make sure we're decent, and stuff's working like it should be.
Yep.
And to do that, at least my mindset when you go out there, especially at Boone, is like, man, when they say we're going green, you just got to be on it.
Right. Well, and here's the other thing. You don't want to tear up other cars in your heat race.
Right.
Or, well, just for one, how about your own car?
Yeah.
Don't tear up your own car. And, we're all bullheaded enough to not give up our spot. I mean, there are some people that will go to the back if they're fighting an issue, but most everybody doesn't. They're like, oh, we got it fixed, and then...
Well, and I look at it from the perspective of just having car confidence. And, like, if you're going out there and you're like, man, this ain't quite right, you ain't going to run with Mike Smith and Matt Al, it's just not going to happen.
100%. 100% agree. So yeah, super pumped up. Josiah, we went, him and I went tip to tip last night up in Fort Dodge. He come over and give me a big hug, and
I was like, "Where's this going?"
No, he's just excited, know. And I really want to thank them because I had a big mishap. If you guys seen my Snapchat,
I dumped her out.
So we've been, moving in the shop, and Braden's like, I'm like, bud, all we need to do is strap it back and forward. And I tried half-fast, I didn't half-fast it. I just strapped it in an L and thought that it would grab it, and Braden's like, bud, are you sure that's going to work? I'm like, we're going a half mile, bud. It'll be fine. We didn't make it 600 feet. And I was getting in my truck, and all I heard was a loud bang. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, I thought it was just a trailer hitting like a pothole, And the next thing I know, I look down, and it's Braden calling me. He's like, bud, we got a problem. And I'm like, what? He's like, aluminum rack fell off the trailer. And I'm like, oh.
That's a big problem.
No. Because we pushed it on with the skid loader, And, I mean, I can't move it myself. Like, it's got that much shit in it,
right.
Two of us can move it, but I come around the corner, bud, and I'm just like...
Yard sale.
right in Dean and Josiah's
front yard,
Dean's front yard. And so Jen was mowing.
I saw Jen mowing.
Jen was mowing, and she goes, told the boys, you guys better come out here and help Jonathan. He's got a mess going on, because Braden and I were out there, and I'm like, oh, my God. And Braden's like, see, bud, I told you. And I'm like, no, like, I know.
Them guys missed the boat. They should have been like, we're willing to forgive and forget, but we're taking some of these blue sheets.
Right.
And they're coming with us.
Don't have blue in our trailer, bud. That's why they switched to red and white.
Oh, duh. There you go. Yep. Forgot about that.
But yeah, great for them guys. I haven't seen Dean yet, but
I saw him, and he was like,
partying.
he was like, we want to like earn one.
They've earned it.
But I'm like,
you have to be there,
right? And that's why I told him, I was like, dude, like, you take him how you can get him, brother. You're there. Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying, like you said, that he was racing with, Kyle Free and Camden, and like, it wasn't that it was just Jake Sockow straight away ahead, and then Josiah straight away ahead of the second and third.
No, they were
third and fourth place car.
You're in an A feature at the Boone Speedway.
Right.
That's all you gotta say.
Good job. And let's be honest here. Jake Sockow's won every race but one at Boone Speedway. He ran third. Is that correct?
Was that a few weeks ago, I think, or whatever?
He ran third.
Blew a tire or something.
Yeah,
happened. He had to go work area.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I'm just saying, so when he's winning as much as he is, there's a lot of guys that are racing for second if he's in, depending on which feature he's in.
Him being there definitely changes the complexion of things.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Right.
Absolutely. Anyway, Cody, go on.
So, no, you're good. Josiah wins that one. Camden goes a +6 to second. Kyle Free goes third. Jonathan Jensen goes fourth. And Randy Havlick goes top 5. So, like we said, Sacco did cross the line in first.
Are we going into this? Is that what we're going to do now?
We can talk about the results part of it, or we can wait and whatever you want to do.
Well, I mean, I think that we should probably send
Let's
this
get through the
off
rest. Do you want to go through the rest of the results?
Let's go to the rest of our results, and we'll go into break, and then we'll come back because I got some shit we got to talk about.
All right. Yeah. So let's just say this for now. Jake Sacco gets DQ'd. So that's what gave Josiah the win. And then we go from there to the modifieds. If I can find my...
That was a race right at the end.
Oh.
I don't know if you're there to see that or not. But
Yeah. Chaz Baca. What a weekend, dude. He won all 3 races all weekend. He won
Well, he ran He ran second at Algona.
Oh, okay.
So he started his birthday weekend on Thursday. He's been running up there weekly.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Yes. Go on. Continue.
So he wins Friday. So second Thursday.
Yep.
Friday he wins at Motown. Wins Boone Saturday. Wins Fort Dodge on Sunday.
Hell of a weekend.
That's a pretty good weekend.
Taylor's going to be folding some extra shirts this week, folks.
Yeah.
Boone was a chess match right at the end there.
Oh.
I mean, and that's, between him and Todd.
Did you guys watch it?
Oh, yeah.
So it literally looked like Chaz Baca has a mirror in that goddamn thing. I'm not shitting you, and maybe he does.
I said the same exact thing because I walked over to Troy and Todd, and I was just kind of talking to him. I'm like, dude. Well, and because there's another thing, too, where it's like there were a couple times Todd went hauling off into 3 and 4 and was using a part of the track that I would assume must look like this right at the top of 3. And I'm like, I don't know how you held that thing on there right there. I mean, and it like you said, it looked like the 75 had a rear view mirror because as soon as he'd get wound up and get something going, all of a sudden it's like protect. And then it's just, he was just in the right place at the right time. And he was fast. I'm not saying he was going backwards by any stretch.
Absolutely.
But he just knew where he needed to be at that point in time.
Hold on. We're not jabbing or saying that Chaz Baca has a mirror in there. I'm just saying if you watch the race,
that way, yes.
if you watch that race, that is literally what it looked like. I mean, it was a phenomenal race. My dad, he's partial to Harris, because he owned it and stuff, and he went over and congratulated him, and and just because of how great of a race it really was.
Yeah.
So. Great weekend, birthday weekend for the Baca.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, really good weekend. Todd Shute runs second, but man, he was right there. Like if Chaz would have just went and ripped the top again, Todd's throwing a banger.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
But he got it wound up, and but Todd's been so fast.
They're on it too.
I know. I mean, like. He's just Troy was telling me Saturday he comes walking down for the heat, and Troy's like, "You gonna hot lap?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna hot lap." And he's like, "Why?" He's like, "I like driving it. It's fun." Like when your race car is that good, though, it is fun to go out
to get in the
drive
seat
the
and
thing.
just do it.
You know, yeah, absolutely. I can relate to that 100%. It's like, this is why we're here. We're here to get laps. We're bringing our race car to a venue to go out and race, not just sit in the pit area.
That was earlier this year. I think it was like our second or third week out, and I was texting Zach back and forth, just asking some questions about the car and stuff. And the last thing he said to me was just, "Go have fun." And I'm like, "Go have fun." And I'm like,
seriously,
I guess I should try to have some fun. And then I'm just like, this is pretty fun.
Seriously, like
we get wrapped up in it so much, you know. You know, you and I have had conversations several times this year, and it's like, just relax.
Yeah, seriously. Like last night we're
both wound up from both ends of what we're doing.
I'm telling you,
you know,
it's a deal.
And then we're both like, okay, we both got to chill out.
Right.
It's
enjoy the moment.
Right.
It's 6:30. The sun's still out, and we're over here pissed off because you know, it's like the little things.
Mm-hmm. Right. But Corey Sauerman goes third. Ethan Roby, man, he's been fast this year too.
Yeah.
Fourth place. Cowboy Ray goes 5. Jakester goes 6th. Isaac goes 7th. Chase Weimer 8th. Dylan Potter 9th, and Uncle Ronnie 10th. But when you look at if you were to watch that race, I think 1st through 9th, like to Dylan Potter, was like, I mean, they were all pretty much right there. You know, Chaz and Todd were kind of class of the field, but like it just
there was a lot of racing taking place.
Yes,
in that part of the field.
Yes,
you know, and it's just one of those deals where it's like a yellow could change, you know, the makeup of it that much more when you have guys that are that close out there, you know, and they know where they need to be.
Yeah. Boone Moose Lodge, 104, IMCA stock cars. Bob Daniels and Josh Daniels going 1-2 was pretty cool.
Right.
That was pretty sweet. You had Bob ripping the top and Josh on the bottom, and
that's like where they want to be. Both of them.
Yeah. And like I said, Josh took the lead a couple times, and then the next lap, Bob would take the lead around the outside.
I've been trying to tell Josh to get off that bottom, and he's just like, man.
He's good down there, though.
I appreciate how clean the 25 car, Josh, he keeps that thing like immaculate. So I was in that feature.
Yep.
It was they ran a hell of a race.
Yeah. So Bob Daniels gets a win. Josh Daniels goes second. Matt Meineke, another third for him. I think he said that's like the 4th time he's gotten third this year. So
Snot Rocket.
Yes.
Yeah.
McGuire looked good though. He got 5th. McGuire to Young. Passed 5 cars.
So not to interrupt, they're in New Sharon, right? Or Montezuma, that area. They're like, this is our earliest we've been home all year.
Seriously?
And they're like, I'm like, well, you going to come back? I'll save you another spot. I'll let you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, you know, it's like I think it's probably roughly about 2 hours from there to Boone. But, you know, that's just attributed to the way that the shows run up there, you know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, I really think that what they're doing with B main and adding the second set of features in that session. However, Rod, I do have a request. Let's do like a regular farm session and not a B main session because we're running more race cars out there. Thank you. Anyway, but I do like how that is because it's like the segment. It's almost back to the original OG. Like this is what we're supposed to be doing.
Yeah. Right.
Like it makes the show flow.
It's
like
more efficient.
100%. And so, with that being said, I do like being in the second feature because I was out of there at 8:30.
Mm-hmm.
Got there at 5.
Right.
Out of there at 8:30. At the shop watching the races. Mm-hmm. So they double dipped me.
Yeah.
Because I got paid the pit pass and then I paid to
see
watch the event.
Hook, line, and sinker.
That's how much I just love it.
Yeah, got the okie doke.
Yep, getting okie doked.
Feature number 2. Or wait, we haven't. Yeah, no, I got 2.
No, you do hobby stock feature.
Well, feature 2 for the stock cars.
Oh, yeah.
David Smith wins, then makes a comment and asks me if Jonathan's mad. And I'm like, hey, bud, we got to make friends because we want to come up and do it.
We heard him. I'm just giving him shit.
Have you guys ever been up there before to the compound?
I have,
No.
yes.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I was up there doing a car for Doug. I think, I don't know, it's been a few years now, but like just the layout and
Did they
everything.
make you sign some shit too when you went in there?
There was a lot of stuff that was.
They were really
covered
worried
up.
about what I was doing when I was up there. I was up there for Doug's wedding.
But it's just neat how, you know, you can kind of picture everybody working on their cars out there at the same time.
Well, hold on. I've never been in that shop.
Oh, okay.
I was in the shop that they got married in.
Oh, all right.
Or where they had the reception or whatever. And the bar that they have with all the shit in it is so cool.
Yeah.
That's where I immediately went when we got there. I'm like, because that's what my dad has that shit too. You know what I mean? So I was like, yeah. But anyway, sorry, Cody.
No, you're good. Rod Richards goes second. Cody Gustav third. Hunter Smith fourth. Donovan Smith making a trip back up to Boone Speedway. Passes 9 cars, goes 14-5.
The old Dynamite coming back out. I asked him, I'm like, where was Blade? Well, we're going to go to Fort Dodge on Sunday. Because his boy started racing, you know. I've been seeing him traveling around with that. But it was nice to see the old 35 back out. Ripping around there.
Yeah. Hobby stock feature number 1. Oh, wait, there was only one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Hey, whoa. Hold on a minute. So this arises a question here.
37 entries.
So a couple weeks ago, we had 38 cars.
or 39, yeah, I don't
Because we
remember.
ran 2 19 cars features. So there were some people that were confused on that. Like, what is it? What's the number? Is it 40? Is it 38?
Yeah.
Is it 37? 37? Okay, folks, here's what I did learn. 37, you run a B main.
Yep.
38, you're running 2 A mains. Anything over 38, you're running 2 A mains. It's simple.
Right. I mean, that's
good to know. Because I was sitting there watching entries for ours, and I'm like, we're at 39 for most of the time, and I'm like, 1A.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm capitalizing on those bad points.
Well,
See how this thing shakes out. And it's like, nope, 2. I'm like, oh.
Well, we ended up
Who's in ours?
We ended up getting to 40. I'm pretty positive for the.
I think you're right.
For that.
Which I don't. I mean, I just didn't. I was just like, oh, shit.
Nope, 39.
Yep.
You're right. 40 for stock cars, 39 for sport mods. So, yeah, 38 must be the number. So, which makes sense, I guess. You don't want to have cars, you know, I don't know. You don't want to have 15 cars racing each other in an A. You know what I mean? So,
I'm just going to zip it.
yeah. So Braden Gifford, Braden Gifford gets a win finally, and that's what I told him. I'm like, man, you've just had some luck, man.
We talked about it 2 weeks ago or whatever. It was like he goes to Marshtown, blows up, comes to Boone on Saturday, and he comes by on the hook. The whole left front or right front ripped off the thing. Like he's been faster and shit. He just had some shitty luck.
Yeah, Matt Breeden goes second. Corey Vanderbilt goes third. Will Smith fourth, and Matt McDonald top 5. So, yeah, Joey Young goes plus 15, 22-7. That's a pretty good run.
That's a pretty stout run.
Yeah, Eric Knutsen's been on fire here lately, but he had some not so good luck.
Well, I talked to him last night at Fort Dodge, and he's fighting something in his front end. And he's like, man, the car will just take off and like.
Oh, it definitely did on Saturday.
It did on Sunday too.
Oh, it did?
Yeah. And he's like, I mean, Eric maintenances that thing.
Oh, yeah.
Religiously.
Right. Sure.
I mean, he's fast as shit everywhere he goes. And he's like, man, I don't know what the hell is going on. He's replaced just about everything. And I'm like, well, until you change everything, you just don't know. So, watched him do that last night too. Picked up one of his new, the old Pushmaster. You guys seen them babies yet?
Yeah, yeah.
It's it's for guys that have like full panels, rear panels, stock car stuff. I mean, you could use it for your sport mod or whatever too. But it's a Milwaukee or DeWalt tool that's like a porta power.
Oh, okay.
It's like a mini porta potty.
It's a mini
Was
porta
Jammer
potty.
using one of those the other day on a
Yes.
Snapchat? I saw that. Yeah,
Yes.
that was pretty cool.
Yes.
Yep.
So I bought one from him on Sunday night, and he was like, "Hey, you think you could throw me out a shout out?" And I'm like, "It'll cost you $400, but yeah." You can do it." So no, there's your free shout out there for the Pushmaster. Get a hold of Eric Knudsen there for all your needs on that. He's got the Milwaukee or the DeWalt set up on there, and I tell you what, guys, it works slicker than shit.
That looked like a nice piece.
Very, very slick. You can get the what's that shit? 3D printed ends, or you can get the harder ends, or like I don't know, what are those?
Just
cast.
like a die form for whatever.
Yeah, it literally is like the little 4-fingered thing for your porta power on one side, and the other side is just the round one with the flat thing, with the flat top on it. It's a very cool unit.
Yeah, that's sweet. I've seen it. Yeah, like I said, I've seen people using it.
Yeah.
So. All right, let's go to break. Yeah. Anything else in this segment? I don't think so. We'll go to break. We come back. We'll talk to Chris about what he's got going at Capitol and kind of his transition from the go-kart stuff to big car stuff, and his journey through sport mod racing. So
it's a journey.
Yeah, that's right. But you guys have been watching Watermelons and Woodchips. We will be right back.
Central Iowa Diesel Performance is a full-service preventative maintenance and truck repair center in Ames, Iowa. While they specialize in high-performance applications, they can do fleet repair, engine maintenance, transmission repair, or things such as brakes and electrical. Anything diesel truck related, Central Iowa Diesel Performance is your go-to shop. Check them out at www.centraliowadieselperformance.com.
At Moffitt's Ford, it's not just about selling cars. It's about taking care of our neighbors. For generations, families have trusted us for reliable vehicles, honest pricing, and service that feels like home. Whether it's a dependable F-150, a safe and spacious Explorer, or your next pre-owned vehicle, we're here to help you find the right fit. And long after you drive off the lot, we're still here with expert service you can count on. Stop by and see us today. Moffitt's Ford, home of the million-mile warranty.
Welcome back, race fans. Watermelons and Woodchips presented by Central Iowa Diesel Performance, and back from the break. And we got a message from our esteemed colleagues up at Indy, and we found a way to get it pulled up on the screen. But watching some races from Indy over here, which is cool from my perspective because I can catch this out of the corner of my eye. But these guys are up here during just a few minutes ago, sent us a video during one of the farm sessions. And Garrett, you think, should we get this fired up and see what they have to say? It's kind of loud, but.
What's up, boys? Just saying hi from Indy.
Independence Motor Speedway.
Yeah, this is my first visit here, and to be honest, it's a racy little joint. Bobcat, some might call you a puss for not showing up, but we wouldn't do that.
I would.
Well, Colton might, but he's a fellow red. I think he gets away with that. So.
Now, if you've never been to Indy, this is a cool little joint. Honestly, it's a little ways out of the way. It's a long ways from anywhere except Benton. It's only 25 miles down the road from Benton, but it's a neat little place. I've been here several times over the years. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, neat little town. A lot of old buildings and stuff, but river coming through town, I think we learned it's a Wapsipinicon. I believe that's the name of it.
Yeah, that's made up.
Colton doesn't believe that.
There's no sign by the river. So.
Yeah.
We got some all-time greats in the house this week, though. The IMCA Summer Nationals here in Indy. Ken Schrader's here. Mr. IMCA, not Mike Nichols, Jordan Grabowski's here.
Yeah, and Jordan might be coming to hang out with us down in St. Louis, I heard. So.
He would love to hang out with some fun company.
Yeah, I think that'd be.
You guys don't go because you guys have other things to do, and you just don't love it like we do.
That's right. But hey, a lot of cool stuff going on up here. Had some pretty great races last Saturday night in Boone. I know you guys are talking about them. Miss you guys, and we'll be back next week. I might even try to talk Colton into coming up. So.
Ooh, I get to come on again.
Yeah, why not? Well, at least you can be in the room while we're talking maybe an all-time great.
You guys must be out of content if you're having me on twice.
We're not going to run out of content. I made that promise. All right, boys. We'll see you later.
All right, boys are up at Indy.
First of all, it looks a little sunny, and it looks like Colton's already burnt.
Yeah.
It's only the
bare skinned.
Yeah, right.
Have you been up there before? You've raced up there, right?
I've raced up there, yeah.
Yep. I went up there for the first time last week, and for the Denny Osborne Memorial, the Waterloo Auto Parts guys, their customers, and kind of wanted to go up there and support their deal. And Colton ended up winning, which was
cool,
awesome.
Right.
I mean, that was just the icing on the cake. But we went up, and Jacob and Jason Snyder, customer also, we kind of roped it into wrapping a car while we were up there, and they were kind of gracious enough to let me stay and maintenance my stuff there and everything.
Nice.
And I mean, the same deal. It's just there's good people all over this sport, and that's a perfect example of them, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing was kind of like what he was saying about like where it's at. It's kind of like that. Oh, brother, out there. This place is just a geographic oddity, isn't it? Because Benton is like 30 minutes that way, and Indy is 30 minutes that way, and they're in Dunkerton, and I'm like, well, this is closer than Boone and Marshalltown is to my track or my house.
Right,
Yeah.
right. I've only raced at Indy once. We went up there it's 2 hours from here. And I have no idea what that means or why. What is that? Is that you? Oh. All right. I'm like, ready? But we went up there. Braden and I went up there for the World of Outlaw deal,
Yep.
and they had stock cars as a support class, and we went out, and man, it was clear up on the lip, and we said we were the fastest car there. And I'm like, I told Braden, I'm like, bud, we're pretty good. We're 2/10 quicker than anybody right now.
We might go on tour after this.
Yeah. I'm like, we might go to the next World of Outlaw late model show. And we start like 6th, 7th, somewhere there. We do the redraw, and I drove that sumbitch straight to 21st. I was terrible. It's a very unique.
It is, absolutely.
Racetrack, and I don't know, it's weird. It's like it's hard to explain it. Like
I don't have anything that I'd compare it to, and like that's kind of one of the things that like we really like doing is going and checking out different racetracks and stuff. We
Right.
kind of gypsy hop around, but like it is a different mentality when you're racing on a surface like that, and it's not good or bad. It's just we just got to adapt, and we got to change things around. And if you've never seen anything like that before, it can be a little daunting.
it's so different than what we're used to around here.
Yep.
I feel like I can compare Stewart, Vinton, Marshtown, Boone. They're all unique in their own little way, but Indy is just like a huge circle.
It is. Yep.
So, but it's like it doesn't feel like that when you're racing on it. Like it feels like you're going into the corner, and then you're going down the straightaway and going into another corner. But you see the aerial views that IMCA TV's given us, and it's like a big circle, and like Spencer. It's kind of like a Spencer.
I kind of felt like I was almost picked, like just where we were racing at, like kind of where the preferred line was that night when we were there. I'm like, man, I feel like I'm picking up speed going into the corner, like a lot, and then just kind of like how we were kind of pinching it off to get through there and stuff. And I mean, the track, props to Mike. The track was awesome that night, I thought. I mean, it was, it was racy. You can move around. We, had some yellows, and we were able to pick off some cars and do some stuff and kind of adapt my driving style while we were doing it. And that was the biggest thing. It's like I didn't feel like I was stuck in one spot. I felt like we could move forward, and I could watch some of the guys around me do some things that race there weekly.
We just talked about it a couple of weeks ago on the show here. That they've had some barn burners up there this year. I raced on it before they had put all the new dirt and everything on it. And I've heard nothing but positive things about this new dirt that they've got up there. The reason I'm not there, since the boys, decided to go ahead and throw in there me being a puss, we're almost moved into our new shop. Okay, this is bothering me. We need it up there for that part, don't we? I'm taking it down. It's bothering me. I'm hitting it. Anyway, we're moving into the shop. That's we didn't race Friday either. Wanted to go up and check out the sports park. Is it sports?
Sports Park Raceway.
Sports Park Raceway. I've murdered that like 3 times today. But that's why I'm not up there, man. I mean, just got way too much stuff going on over the shop. So it seems like they've got some really good talent there. I forgot to turn the timer on. But it's going to be exciting to watch what's going on here a little bit later in the show there at Indy.
Yeah, for sure. And, well, I wanted to talk to Burke about, like, his, journey into racing as we do with our guests. Obviously I've known Chris for a long time. Him and I think him and I were actually friends before him and Maddie were friends.
I'm pretty sure that's right. Yeah.
So you guys been having Thanksgiving dinners for a while together.
That's kind of what I was thinking about. I'm like, should I be bringing like something to this deal?
Was it to play the whole time to go after the sister or what?
No.
All right,
no,
fair.
No, it wasn't.
But Chris moved to town and we were doing, I think you guys had moved like right when we started doing summer wrestling practices or something when you guys moved over there. And that's kind of how we became friends, because we'd do those summer wrestling practices in high school together. And then Chris and I, we'd travel, became buddies, and he raced.
Went to a few tournaments together, some freestyle Greco stuff. Yeah.
So we had common ground because he was a racer. And so we would take the Grand Prix, had a 94 Grand Prix.
Oh, yeah.
The white two-door Grand Prix, and we'd take that thing.
That thing had a nickname.
Yes, it did. Yeah. Yep. And we would take that thing all over, wrestling and having fun. And we had we took a team camp to Butte.
Yep.
And Coach, Coach put this whole thing together where we were all going to go watch the new Batman movie, the
first Christian Bale, the best one.
The best one.
Yeah. And we all get there, and Coach has got this deal. He's got all these tickets for everybody. Like, we're all going to do this as a team activity. And Burke's got like a 2-liter.
So I don't know, this generation probably can't relate, and I feel like I'm an old man saying that, but it's like when people actually used to go to the movies, and I remember as a kid going to the movies, and it's just like you'd pull every card, anything you do, like, I want a Coke with no ice so I could get more pop. I want, I'm going to sneak the Mike and Ike's here. I'm going to tape this there.
Yep.
And so I don't even remember who I was with prior to that, but we go out and we're gonna get some snacks and we're gonna bootleg them on in there. And I think I was just kind of feeling a little overzealous, and I'm like, I'm gonna bring a 2-liter of Coke in here. So and I don't remember, it was summer. I don't think I had a hoodie on or anything like that, and I don't know how I even pulled it off, but like I got this 2-liter of Coke, on my side or something like that. I get past the guy that takes your tickets and everything like that, and we were clean and clear. And of course, me just being the dick, I'm just like, hey guys, check this out. Pulled her out before he even got into the theater, and then like this dude's just like, and he's like, oh my god. So I got caught with that, to get rid of it. But I went back and watched the movie. I mean, they didn't totally boot me for the night, but I was like, well, I guess you can't do that.
That's great.
That's one of my favorite Chris Burke stories. He's gonna game the system. Got caught.
Yeah.
But like I said, when we met, you were still racing go-karts and still are heavily involved now. So kind of talk about how you got started with that and kind of where you're up to today.
So I really didn't even get into racing probably until I want to say about middle school. And with the job that my dad had, we moved around quite a bit. So I was from Kansas originally. We lived in Illinois, Missouri, Iowa. Actually lived in Iowa 3 different times, once in Ames, once in Boone, once in Danville, which is where I kind of got into racing because, 2 minutes away from there is West Burlington, 34 Raceway, right off 34, and wasn't really into racing that much. Was kind of doing the skateboard BMX thing, just being a hoodlum type stuff. And I met my buddy Dusty Trail there. That is his actual name, and it's spelled exactly like that.
Really?
Bustytrail, Dusty Trail.
That's great.
And Dusty was a farm kid, and of course farm kids have all the cool stuff.
Right.
I mean, and when we were in Townie, and I say Townie, it was a town of 1,000 people. So we rode our bikes everywhere, did all that stuff, and just kind of started hanging out with him. And we were in a class of like 30 people, so everybody knew everybody, and the only thing really to do around there was to either go to the gas station, rent movies, or take pop cans back, or go to the racetrack. So I started going racing with him and his stepdad, Mike Preem. And Mike used to own some cars in that area, was really heavily involved, you know, kind of in that limited late model type scene down there, and even some sprint car stuff, because the cool thing about Burlington was at that point in time, they had weekly 360s and they had weekly IMCA late models. And like, that was awesome, you know, I mean, and not taking away from anything up here or anything like that, but I didn't grow up with modifieds being the top tier class.
Well, right.
I mean, and that was, you know, and that's just
those late models back then, the IMC late models back then were badass.
And they were, and you know, that's, you know, you had guys like the Tollins or Terry Neal or Darren Miller and, you know, Burkdorf and all these guys that were like really fast, and they had their 10,000 to win show at that point in time. And that was just, you know, that was the season finale, and it was cool stuff. So Dusty ends up getting a go-kart. And, you know, there's 2 tracks down there, one outside Donaldson, and actually another one just kind of down the road from Donaldson a little bit. And I start going with them and kind of helping, you know, just doing knick-knack stuff like, oh, change a gear, clean air filters or whatever. And was just really lucky to be involved with those guys, because it just kind of just became a passion really right there. And I ended up kind of trying to convince my parents. I'm like, I kind of need a go-kart, you know, and they're like, you got 2 brothers and we're not getting you a go-kart. You know, if you want a go-kart, you're gonna have to go get one. And I'm like, well, how do I do that? You know, and I'm like 12 years old at the time. Well, you're in a town of 1,000 people, start dragging a lawnmower around. So I think the summer right before we started racing, I rounded up like probably 6-7 lawns to mow. And I'm talking push mower, not anything special. And saved up money, was able to go buy a used go-kart, was able to get some help on a motor and some stuff like that, just through Mike and Dusty and them, and was able to pit out of their trailer and start it and do it and everything. And I mean, we had not a lot of money into that program. You know, we didn't have a TAC, which, you know, on a go-kart, a TAC is everything, you know. And nowadays, these taxis, you know, data acquisition systems, they use GPS. They can tell you, you know, map out where you're at on the track, show you your line, show you where you're in and out of RPM and everything like that. But at that point in time, we're mainly looking at head temp on the motor, max RPM, change gears, do stuff that way. And so yeah, we were pretty much the entire first year without one of those. And then the next year, my dad's like, hey, you know, it's kind of fun, you know, I'll buy you a go-kart. So we get a little bit nicer go-kart, click off a couple wins. And the thing about kart racing at that point in time, it wasn't the cage kart stuff, it was all flat kart.
Yeah.
And there's a lot more tracks. You know, we'd go across the river, you could go race at like Spoon River and stuff like that. You go into Illinois a little bit, because I mean, we're right on the border. And, you know, there's a lot of really cool people that were racing at that point in time, you know, that I've been able to watch kind of progress in different areas of the sport and stuff like that. And, you know, clear up to NASCAR really, you know, and guys that, you know, you were able to build relationships with that, you know, I still have to this day. But so we're racing, and Dad's job ends up moving up to Boone. So we're going to Boone now. And I'm like, oh, this is okay, whatever. And my dad's like, oh, I got a racetrack up there. And I'm like, okay. So we're pulling into town, racetrack's right off the highway. I'm like, that's kind of neat. You know, you can see it and everything. Right. And I think the first show I ever went to was the Memorial Day show, or the Monday of Super Nationals, when they had Deary Brothers. And I'm watching the Deary, you know, that show and everything. And I'm just sitting there the whole time in my head, just like, this is so dumb. Like, you know, I didn't like anything about Boone at that point in time. Like, I didn't like the way that they ran the program. You know, there was a guy sitting on a tire halfway in, halfway out of the infield. I'm like, where's the yellow at? You know, what's going on? Well, you know, hindsight's 20/20. You kind of see things from a different perspective. You kind of look at things in retrospect, and you're like, this is the way it's supposed to be done. This is the most efficient program in the country. You know, and that's where kind of going back to the go-kart thing and stuff like that. You know, it's not any one thing against any other track, but it's just the science that they have and the amount of work and the effort that they've put into this place here. Like, you know, we go out to, whether it's Kansas, Nebraska, you know, some of these other places, and you just kind of see, you know, how stuff is out there. Not that it's good, bad, or otherwise. It's just different. And then you come back here and you're like, this is nuts. You know, you can set your watch by it, like just the way things work. But from there, I moved to Boone, I'm in high school. We kind of got out of go-kart racing just because it kind of became, you know, cost was kind of inhibited a little bit. You know, it's just you're traveling a lot, you're going a lot of different places. At that point in time, you know, you're unloading and you've got 12 to 16 sets of tires, and you're not racing 45 minutes down the road. You're racing 8 hours away in Waukene, or, you know, outside of Kansas City, or you're going to Illinois, or you're going to Minnesota. You're doing all this traveling stuff, and it's no different than this. It's, you know, you can put money behind it, and the only thing that beats cubic inches is cubic dollars. So you're sitting there, and it's not fun. I mean, just because it felt like, you know, we were kind of, you know, at a point where it's like we're just kind of getting outrun by, you know, for a lack of, you know, better term, money, realistically, you know, and not that, you know, that's any, you know, slide on anybody else, because somebody had to get it somewhere. Right. Somebody had to put in the work to do it. Yeah. And it, you know, we just kind of phased out of it, but I didn't lose touch with racing. I wanted to stay involved in racing. So I kind of went from that to starting to help some people out, you know, just, hey, I got nothing going on Saturday. I want to go to races with you. You know, I want to do stuff. And was able to kind of start going racing with Bill and Joel Bashore, and kind of learn some things there, and kind of hang out and try not to be too much of a menace or cause too much trouble. But, you know, they were gracious enough to let me come with them.
It'd be pretty tough to be a menace around them couple guys.
Well, I mean, you know,
you know,
Bill used to move a lot faster back in the day. And he could, he could throw a whooping on you if he needed to, you know. I never had it to me, but I mean, I knew, you know, he could thump you if he got a hold of you.
Right.
And then I'm at a race with Dusty in southeastern Missouri, Sykeston. And this is crazy, but maybe you guys heard this or not. They used to have a race down there called the Insane One, and it was a $50,000 to win go-kart race. Can you imagine that? $50,000.
That's crazy.
And so I'm down there, and same deal, just kind of helping out. And Matt DeYoung and Joel DeYoung and their boys are racing. I don't think it was the weekend of the Insane One, but it was another race. And I knew they'd need some help because they had, you know, 4 kids racing, and they can't keep track of all of them. I mean, they can, but it's a lot easier when you got some hands to come and corral stuff and wash tires and do things like that. And I can't remember if I went up to Joel first or Matt, but I'm just like, hey, I heard you guys might need some help. Like, I'm down to go. You know, I want to go travel around. I want to go see some stuff and kind of hang out. So started going on the road with those guys, and you know, pretty much just did that for like probably the next 4 or 5 years or whatever. Was doing it all the way, you know, through my time at DMAC and Iowa State. And I mean, boy, that was some of the most fun I've ever had, honestly. You know, you're going down the road, and it almost feels, and this sounds silly, but it's like, you know, you're going the racetrack in the toter, which is pretty cool. Right. And it is. And then like the first time somebody's like slides the seat back and they're like, hey, you want to drive this? And you're like, what? Like, you want me to drive this? And it's like, all right, cool. So, like, from there on out, you know, it might be 2, 3 in the morning. You might be cruising up to Kansas City on the way back. And you're like, I bet this is what, you know, a Lucas Oil team, you know, I bet this is what this feels like going down the road, you know, just big rigging, doing that whole thing. And I knew I wanted to get a race car. Like, but I knew getting into that type, you know, that part of the sport, you were still going to have to be able to fund it, and you were still going to have to be able to learn, because I didn't want to be naive to the fact that you can't just go jump in one of these things, and you definitely can't go jump into one of these things and expect to be in it long term, unless you've got some help, and not just money, but like somebody that can actually sit there and tell you what you should do and what you shouldn't do, and, you know, kind of walk you through how to fix things, or, you know, stupid stuff like, this is how you set timing, this is how you do valve lash, this is, you know, and I think that's one of those things where it's like, there's a lot of old school racers and a lot of guys that had been involved for a long period of time that, you know, when they would, you know, and I'm using Bill for an example, but it's like somebody like that, when they're willing to take the time and kind of like help you and like kind of get you to avoid some pitfalls and stuff like that, that like, you know, that there's probably a lot of guys that aren't fortunate enough to have somebody over their shoulder, you know, to kind of show them those things. And so I was able to get a used car. I think the first crate motor we got had like 90 nights on it, and I paid like $1,100 for it. And we ran that thing for a year and ended up selling it. And then, you know, got another crate, and it was like the same time Cam was getting into it too. And I knew I knew that's, you know, it was fun. I wanted to do it. I was not, you know, I didn't have any illusions that like, oh, we're going to buy a brand new car next year, or we're going to go buy, you know, 2 motors and we're going to do this. And like kind of slowly over time, I've been able to accumulate the parts, the inventory, the stuff like that.
Yeah, man, people forget, like, that's like a lot of people, if you're just getting into racing and you see, like, there's probably people that look at Chris Burke, oh, he owns a business, he's got a full funded deal. No, people, we're still on a budget.
Yep.
Like, I have a budget every year that, you know, that's why we have the race party. And, like, I tell everybody, it's like, you come to my shop and I've got a whole toolbox and whole cabinet full of shit that I've accumulated that over the years, because it's like, okay, well, this year I'm going to buy this, this, and this.
Right.
And then, or, you know, you win a big race and you're like, oh shit, I'm going to buy this cool tool or whatever, you know?
How can we, you know, what do we need to make this a little bit easier on us? Whether it's, you know, to make stuff go a little bit faster so you can spend some more time at work.
Because how long have you raced a big car?
I think when I looked at MRP the other day, I think the first time I entered a race was like 2018.
Okay.
And I think I think I maybe raced like 3 or 4 times or something like that. Right. And then just kind of started doing it more and more after that.
So you're 8 years into this.
Right.
deal.
Yep. Absolutely. Right. Yep. And I mean, same deal where, you know, we were lucky enough to get hooked up with some guys that, you know, Josh with the Edge stuff and everything like that, you know, another person that like, I probably wouldn't be racing if it wasn't for him being involved. You know, and now, you know, with Nate, Listina and them guys, it's like, dude, it's like we just, you know, we feed off each other and we're able to, well, this is what we need to do. How are we going to do it? All right, well, let's dictate our time and figure it out and go about it. And the most important thing right now, and I think it's just because I've seen it with the go-kart thing where it's just like, if you have the mentality where it's not fun, why are you going to the racetrack? You know, there's other stuff you could be doing. It's, you know, don't make it a punishment to go racing. Like, and right now we're having fun, you know, and it's kind of the mentality we've had where it's like, you know, yes, you know, I think we're really competitive right now. I mean, you know, and we're in a spot where racing with cars, you know, that you really have to, you know, be on your stuff in terms of driving style and things like that. And just, you know, just little stuff. Like when I tell people, I'm like, you know, you're going to stage and you're not even thinking about this stuff. You're already thinking about what you're going to be doing 2 laps in, or you're getting a game plan in your head about like, all right, you know, this guy's here, this guy's there, this is what the track looks like. You know, you're just kind of watching things, seeing how things are moving around, and you're not, you know, you don't got the yips, you don't got anything like that. You're just doing it. It's
weird when you strap in how focused or just like you're trying to focus on, you got a lot of surround, like sitting in the staging area. It's like, I'm like trying to not so I'm like flipping people off. We're at Fort Dodge last night and this guy, I can see him taking pictures, him and his kids. So I just throw the bird up there and his kids are like, you know, they're like, oh, yeah. They come over the pit afterwards and they're like, hey man, you know, we seen you. But cause you can get into your own head real quick. Easily. You know, and that's what I mean. You get locked in there and get out on that racetrack, and it's just different, man. You don't even have time to. Sometimes you don't have time to react to anything that's going on. You just have to
muscle memory. It's muscle memory. Yeah, I mean, and literally. that's the thing. It's like, you know, and a lot of the races and a lot of laps we turned early were at Boone. And like, I mean, whether, you know, that was a good or a bad thing, like I just kind of built a muscle memory where I'm just like, well, this is what Boone feels like. And then you go somewhere else and you're like, well, I can't drive it like that over here. I got to do something different. And it, you know, here in the last couple of years, like I've wanted to like move around, go see different tracks, see different stuff. Because in the go-kart, my mentality was like, well, the only way to get good at this is to go to different places and do different stuff and race different guys. And, you know, that way, when you go back to a place like this, you're like, well, this guy's here, he's doing that. I might be able to do this, or I did this at this place and this is how this worked, and just try to, you know, bring some of that stuff back into the fold. Whereas, you know, and nothing against the weekly guys or the guys that chase points and stuff like that. You know, I'd love to have a track title at some point in time. You know, that's kind of a goal of mine. But there's something cool about going to a place you've never been to before.
It's phenomenal.
And racing a group of cars that you don't normally see, because, you know, and not to say that like you said right there, you're sitting there in staging and you're like, oh, dude, I got this guy right here and this guy right here,
Yeah.
these guys, you know, and you're trying not to beat yourself. You're trying to like fight it and kind of get around it. But if you're in, you know, North Platte, Nebraska, and you've never raced any of these guys before, they're all scrubs, you know, in your mind. Not that they are, because there are some really good cars out there, but you're like, I don't know what this guy's capable of. I'm just going to go. Like,
I mean, he could either go in and drive clearing over your left front and up over the wall, or you could go in and turn, and it'd be a side-by-side battle for the next 8 laps.
Right.
You just never know. People get so intimidated by Ricky Thorntons or Jeff Bones or the Tim Wards or Jeremy Mills. And it's like, guys, they can get beat on any given day, any given racetrack. I mean, are they good? Well, yeah.
Of course they are.
They've worked really hard to get there, but that doesn't mean that you can't beat them.
No, and I think, you know, it's one of those things that you start looking for, you know, because you can see it. People race each other differently, especially when you know who's next to you and what's going on. And that's just kind of been a thing where it's like, if you got confidence in your car, you're not pulling over for somebody else.
No.
You know, you're going to race them. I'm not saying you're going to try to wreck them or crowd them or do anything like that, but you're going to race them. And if you trust them, and like the cars that we're racing with right now, you know, I feel like that I've got all the confidence in the world that, you know, for the most part, 9 times out of 10, they're going to leave me a lane, and I'm going to leave them a lane, you know, and I'm going to race with respect, because the last thing I want to do is to cost somebody more time, take away laps, and cost them money and junk their stuff. Because I know what it takes to put it together and get it there.
Absolutely. And sometimes it's a thing where you circumstance happen, man.
Yep.
That's racing. It is a contact sport. Not intentional contact, but it's you know, shit just happens. But same thing, we've said it here 100 times, and I will say it every time if I have to. You know, you quit caring about that stuff. Stay home.
Right.
You know, because you're costing other people money that, you know, some people will miss a meal or two during the week just to go to the racetrack because they're that diehard about it.
Yep.
And I'm not saying that that's right or wrong or what. That's their discretion. That's their choice. That's whatever they want to do. But
and I that's kind of a mindset that I have on other things too, like, you know, with the business and stuff like that. You know, if we're doing race cars for somebody, and, you know, it's no different than building cars and stuff like that. You know, you want to get everybody taken care of as quickly as possible and do stuff. And there's some times where you're going to be sitting there working on something and you're just like, man, they're not racing for 3 weeks. Like, you know, I've got time. But you're like, it's not just a car. That's their car. That's what they're putting their time and their money. And, you know, whether they're taking away from time with their family, whether they're, like you said, you know, putting stuff together just to buy wheels and tires. Like, whether you're a racer, competitor, you know, a parts provider, like, you really got to look at each one as an individual case by case deal, because, I mean, they're just as passionate as you are at the end of the day.
Right. Well, another thing is there's so many good people out there in this sport 100%. That are selling those parts or those products or there's rap. I mean, there's so many great people that are involved in the industry that do that. So if you want to run a business in this industry, you better give good customer service, you know, sell your product.
News travels fast in the racing world.
Absolutely it does. I mean, it does. And it's been tough, you know, and you don't have cars. My dad always said it's like a vicious revolving circle. You know, there's drivers that leave certain places or companies. We all call them chassis skanks. You know, they jump around and buy chassis, this and that, and try to get the information, you know, and everything.
But you don't burn a bridge if you don't have to. I guess that's the way that I've always looked at it.
Yeah.
You know, and,
I mean,
and what's the point in getting, you know, if you get your toes stepped on by somebody, it is what it is. Just tell them, you know, hey, I'm going to do this because X, Y, Z. And you don't have to kick their dog or do anything on the way out the door.
Right.
Because you might be back there in a couple of years.
You know, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly where I'm going with this. Is it's no different in every race car driver, myself included. Maybe not you, because you're a little more collared as far as being more professional.
I don't know about
at
that.
The racetrack. Well,
you're passionate.
No, I forgot what I was going to say. What were we just talking about?
I was going to bring this up.
Him being collared.
Yeah.
About what, though?
Being professional.
About?
At the racetrack. hold on. I got a sidebar. You might be able to think of it for a second.
Yeah.
Did you catch the cup race at all last night?
Nope.
Dude, like, that was one of the latest. It was Nashville. Hamlin picked, I think, Seabell's pocket on the end of that deal. And I'm sitting there. And the only reason I'm saying this is because I'm wearing this, and I'm like, I kind of feel like a spotter right now, or something like that. Like, could you imagine if, like, you had a spotter on the track? Bobcat, 2 cars back.
Right.
41 outside. Hold.
Yeah.
Hold.
Right.
Hold. Bring her to the pits.
Yeah. Well, the funniest part about that whole thing,
It's registering now.
the funniest
what
part
you're
about
talking
that whole thing is that I unplugged my headset that night. And apparently Damon's like, yeah, Mike was saying, don't do it, 69, don't do it. And I'm like, I didn't hear any of it.
Yeah.
And
Thor used to race go-karts.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was good.
And see, like, Thor and I raced sport mods together, modifieds together, stock cars together.
Yep.
Like, it wasn't, I'm going to show my displeasure regardless whether I build cars or not. I don't give a shit. If you're going to race me like that, then I'm going to, I truly try to race everybody as respectful and as clean as I can. And sometimes you just get the short end of the stick.
It happens. Yeah.
And I've been on it. I've been on both sides of it. All of us have. I said a couple weeks ago that all racers are crybabies. I don't give a shit what anybody says. Every
100%.
race car driver that's ever touched a steering wheel is the biggest crybaby fucker there is at points in their career. And I just don't. I'm just not going to. I'm never going to change. So I don't know whoever's out there.
You got to be passionate. If you're not going forwards, you're going backwards.
Yeah, all the people that got me blocked, I love it. Thank you. We're going to make a T-shirt because the guy said I was a big douche on a post today. I love that. Thank you. It's such great motivation. And this is my life. I have revolved my life no different.
It's an identity.
Than Chris. Yeah,
I don't know what I would do without it.
Seriously. I mean, I don't know what I like. I enjoy a lot of other things, but this is my. I mean, I have a business involved around it. I have my hobbies. I don't do anything else. I mean, I do, but you know what I'm trying to say. Like, majority of my time is with the racing stuff. So,
yeah.
Yeah. Right.
So
Take a breath there. Well, and you talk about that. Having you guys obviously both have businesses that are heavily involved in racing, but I'm sure you've gotten a lot of business from racing that's not race car related, right?
We have, and it's kind of one of the things I'm honestly pretty proud about is the fact that we're able to bridge the gap with a lot of those guys and build a really good network. Not just in the state but outside of the state as well, where you have guys that are either at the track as a driver or as a car owner or as a sponsor or something like that.
Hold on, rewind for a minute. Why did you get into? What made you want to get into doing decal stuff? Like, when did that start for you? And when did you?
I kind of glossed over that, huh?
No. We've never glossed over that. I mean, I'm telling you.
So when I was probably about the time that I was honestly getting into racing, even before that a little bit, like I've always liked cars and automotive stuff and dirt bikes and everything like that. I don't know about you guys, but back in the day I had, motocross action, every Fox catalog, every, CCS, Ride BMX catalog and stuff. And so I was sketching Ricky Carmichael with the Woody Woodpecker scheme, doing stuff back in the day. Cause like that's, Supercross, motocross was kind of like what I really liked watching. Like that was my thing. And so I started drawing cars. I think I told Denny Eckrich last year, I'm like, back when you used to race at Burlington, I'm like, I drew your late model a few times. And now we're doing your modified, or we're doing, his boys mod now, or whatever.
Which is cool shit.
And I'm like, it's just cool to do that full circle. So when I'm in Danville and I'm getting into this, and we're getting into go-kart racing, there's a guy that lived in West Burlington, Iowa. His name was Dave Anderson. Dave's Trick Paint and Decals. That was the guy down in that part of the state that you went to if you wanted your stuff to look good. And I'd sit there at home sometimes, and before I even had a cart, I had a million sketches of what I wanted it to look like body-wise, and I'm talking Microsoft Paint. Like, imagine doing something in that.
Oh, yeah,
right.
And how much time that took. But I had all the time in the world, man. I'm not doing anything.
Right.
So we moved to Boone, and I'm like, I know I want to do this. I don't know if I want to do it as a career or not. And I was able, through your dad basically, to go work for a company. and start at the bottom and sweep the floor and start playing with computers and start doing stuff like that, and eventually start doing race car graphics and do race car graphics there, basically through college and, through DMAC and through Iowa State. And then when I got done with that, I'm just like, well, now what? What am I going to do? Like, and I guess, like, to rewind a little bit, like, I changed majors. I go to Iowa State, and I'm like, I kind of want to get into engineering, or some kind of quasi-engineering related field. So
it sucks that Josh isn't here, because he'd be like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? He'd be like,
so I'm doing that. I finish, and I'm sending out resumes, wanting to go work for, in a manufacturing facility, and the job titles that I was looking for, like, I wanted to be like a quality engineer. I want to do continuous quality improvement and things like that. And we're at a party one night, and Cody and Maddie's uncle Tim comes up to me, and he's like, "Hey," he's like, "What do you think about starting your own business?" And I'm like, "Huh?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And he's like, "Seriously," he's like, "What do you think about it?" And I'm like, I could do it, I guess, And thankfully he asked me that early in the night, because I wouldn't have remembered it if he had asked me that. And so I remember, next day talking to Maddie, and I'm like, I think we're going to start a business. And, from there we were.
So you were already in the family at this point?
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
All right.
Yep. And
we didn't go over
sorry.
that.
Yep.
No, it's all good. I'm just giving you shit.
Yep. And so we started Capital Signs in 2018. Tim, some other, partners that invested in it and stuff like that. And, man, you talk about drinking from a fire hose. And I know you've been in the same position. It doesn't matter. You could have all the equipment in the world. You could have everything in front of you, laid at your feet. But you still got to manage the thing, and you got to do it, and you got to do the work. And there's so much behind the scenes stuff that, you don't take into consideration. And one of the things that I tell myself, or that I've told other people, I'm like, if I could go back in time, knowing that I was going to start a business, I would have went and got a major in psychology, just so I could understand how to communicate and, deal with people better and be better, not just, from my point, but just to kind of manage people and just to kind of understand people more, because that's such a huge part of running a business that, just because you can put a product out doesn't mean that, you're going to be able to sell it, or that you're going to be able to put yourself in the right room with the right people.
I feel sorry for Braden and Matt a lot of the times.
Dude, I mean,
it's tough, man.
It is very tough.
So tough. And
because you have a goal in mind, and you're like, this is what we need to do today. And we just need to figure out how to get from point A to point B. And, you're like, I know we need to do this better, but we can't stop right now and figure out a way to do it better, when really that's what you need to be doing.
Right.
Whether it's making a process more efficient, whether it's, getting input from somebody and saying, all right, well, yeah, we were able to do 1 million of these, but we had to redo like a handful of them. Like, how do we get to the point where we don't have to do that anymore?
Right.
Or, this person put in 40 hours this week and then put in 80 hours the next week. What happened? Like, there's so much, and you're sitting there sometimes and you're like, all right, and not, there's a million things that can stress you out and stuff like that. But every now and then you'll just have one of those, kind of come to Jesus moments where you're sitting there and you're like, man, there's people that rely on me to run this business and to do this. And that's just a whole, when you come to that realization,
a different mentality.
It is a completely different mentality.
Yeah, it really is. There's days that I wish that I could just walk in and just punch in. And I try to be really lenient, just because when we crunch, everybody's crunching. Everybody does a great job. But there's like, when we want to go racing, we're going racing. And our deal's a little bit different than like your rap stuff as far as when it comes to that, because the product that we're building, we're trying to promote that. Mm-hmm. And your promotion is how great the cars look.
Yeah, I mean, for racing side of things and stuff like that, you definitely want to set yourself apart. I mean, there's so many good people out there that are doing it right now. I mean, there are artists and guys that are doing raps that are so talented coast to coast. I mean,
car building as well.
And I like to, and even with those guys, I like to talk to them. I like to, you know, if they need something from me, if I need something from them, you know, keep open lines of communication, stuff like that. Like, we're competitors. You know, you can be a competitor on the track and you can be a competitor in business, but sometimes, you know, there's some mutually beneficial stuff in there.
Yeah.
And, you know, same deal where it's like, you don't want to burn bridges. Well, I don't want to start off on the wrong foot with anybody.
Yep.
So
100%.
But yeah, I mean, you know, Tim was the catalyst for everything. And, you know, there's been, you know, probably 4 or 5 people in my life that have kind of got me to the point where I'm at right now. And, you know, it's not like a, you know, believe in fate type thing, but it's just like, if this guy wasn't here to steer me in this direction, I don't even know what I'd be doing right now. Right. Honestly. I mean, and, you know, and he was so crucial as a mentor, you know, and it's not like I was hanging out with him every night or doing anything like that, but it's just like, if I need something, like, I remember, so we started in 2018 and COVID happens 2 years later, and we're running a business. We just started a small business, and I'm like, what does this mean? Like, you know, like, how's this going to work for us? Like, you know, cause you have so many things going through your head. You're like, are we going to have to shut down the shop? Am I going to come to work in 2 weeks and all of a sudden nobody's going to be ordering anything? And, you know, all of our commercial accounts, you know, they're going to be tight or something like that. And I remember calling him one time, and they were at a trade show, and I'm like, dude, I don't know what to do. He's like, well, what do you mean? He's like, just keep doing what you're doing. You know?
Right.
Like,
just get up and go to work.
We'll figure it out. And I'm just like, all right, we'll figure it out. And I remember going around, you know, that summer, that entire year, Des Moines, you know, Altoona, that you know, Ankeny, that area, and the interstates are empty, and there is nothing going on and nothing moving, and we're still doing decals, and we're still doing graphics, and we're still doing, you know, commercial stuff, racing stuff, everything. And I'm like, this is so weird and so eerie, but yeah, I mean,
worked out though, didn't it?
Uncle Tim's favorite phrase was, "We'll figure it out." I mean, well, even on that, you know, that door of Isaac's that I brought in after he had passed, they put, "We'll figure it out" on the bottom of the car. Like, it was just, he'd always find a way to, like, make you calm your nerves.
He could. I mean, and it's, you know, that's
and
a quality.
You never had a bad time with him either.
No. I mean, but you could, you know, he's one of those guys that, you know, I'd say he was, you know, a problem solver, you know, even for problems that he didn't even have himself. Like, you know, people could bring something to him, and you'd think the world is on fire, and it's just like, okay, you know.
Right.
Well, where are we at?
Right.
What do we need to do? What do we need to do to fix this? What do we need to do to move forward? And it's just like, you know, the calmness and just, you know, how concise he was on certain things, you know, just like, he'd tell you the truth even if you didn't want to hear it.
Oh, 100%. And I remember a conversation, I think I was with you. It was after we went to that wrestling, we went to that deal that Iowa Wrestle had at the fairgrounds. And we ended up going to Tim and Wendy's after and had a conversation, and there was a lot of things that were, you know, like you said, he'd tell you what you needed to hear, even if you didn't want to hear it. And, you know, but he was
a lover of racing too, which is awesome. It just made everything that much better.
Right. Right. And heavily involved in that. And yeah, but no, what a great guy. And, you know, just like you said, helped you guys get going. And now what you guys have going now is pretty awesome.
Definitely proud of it. You know, same deal though, where it's like the job's never done and stuff's, you know, it's always you know, I used to kind of think with this mentality, just like, all right, let's get this stuff done and be done with it. And it's just like, it's never going to be done. Right. You're always going to be doing stuff. You're always going to be moving forward. There's always going to be another job. There's always going to be something else to tackle. So, you know, and just kind of shifting that mindset and stuff like that, you know, and it's so parallel to racing, you know, I mean, it really is, but yeah, I mean, definitely something that's kind of shaped me, you know. Yeah.
Right. Well, and moving on from that, how many years has it been? Last year we reigned out at Boone, right, for the Topless. But how many years have we done this deal?
I was trying to figure that out there. 3? I think it's like 3 or 4. Yeah.
3?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
Well, I ran Topless in my mod.
So what was your last year in mod? Because that's probably the first year we did it.
My last year in mod?
Yeah.
22?
Yeah.
I bet it was.
No, 23. It was 23. Yeah. So, yeah, this would be the third year?
Yeah.
God, and it seems like it's been more than that.
There again, that was another deal where I'm sitting there and I think we were, in one of the group chats one day and we were talking about stuff and talking about specials. And, I've always kind of wanted to do something, not just to kind of get the name out there and stuff, but kind of get back to the racetrack, get back to the racer, get back to our group of, and granted, we're just, we're sport mod modified special and stuff like that. It's not to say we don't appreciate everybody else that buys decals from us, but the Topless thing, I remember the first time I saw a Topless race car, and they used to have like the Altel 100 and stuff like that. And, I remember flipping through a JR Motorsports catalog one time, and kind of like you, I wasn't, I could read, but like I was way more into the pictures too. And there was a car, I honestly don't even know who it was, but it stuck out to me because of the graphics on it first. But it was a guy from Texas that it was an outlaw mod, and it was Topless, and I'm like, that thing looks pretty sick. And then just kind of some of the stuff over the years with the late model thing and everything like that, I'm like, why don't we do something like that? Just change it up just a little bit, because there's only so many, kind of, I don't even know what you want to call it, like, not ploys, but like, you could have an Australian pursuit race, you could have, the King of the Hill thing, you could do this, you could do that. I'm like, let's just make it Topless, let's see if we can do this. And I remember floating the idea out there. I was lucky enough to get, Boone and Marshalltown to do it. And I remember, and I get it, people don't like change, when it comes to, especially to their race car, they don't want anybody telling them what to do with the thing. And I'm like, and I remember saying, I'm just like, if you guys think that, you're going to have a mass mutiny on your hands, like, I get it. But I think after the first couple of years, guys, hey, we're just pulling sail panels, we're pulling the roof off, we're pulling A-pillars, and we're going.
I mean, you're talking, we put 4 rivets in each sail panel, so 8, you got 10, 12 rivets and 4 bolts in your roof, and you're racing.
Yep. And they say, because I know there's other places in the country that have done this and other IMCA tracks. I know Bakersfield used to have like a pretty consistent one out there. And I remember, them guys kind of talking and trying to get, kind of an idea of like what this would look like. And I don't know if it was Brett or somebody saying like, well, it will slow the cars down a little bit. Like it'll change, kind of the complexion of the racing a little bit, just because, you're taking a ton of downforce off. And it does, but I think more so than anything else, from the driver's point of view, you're like, kind of feels like a go-kart.
Right.
Like,
it's weird. It's definitely weird.
It is definitely different. When you get into the mindset and you're racing, you're just racing. But like when you pull out there, even when you're getting in and out of the thing.
When you're watching it.
Right.
On the, like when you, it's just like.
When you can see somebody actually sawing on the wheel and moving their head around, it looks like those, old videos that like they have at the Sprint Car Hall of Fame where you're watching guys driving, sprint cars without cages on them, and they're just like, sawing the thing, and you're like, holy smokes, that's what that looks like?
Yeah.
Right. Them guys were a different breed.
Ballsy.
Holy smokes.
Yeah. So this weekend is the twin Topless for the sport mods and modifieds.
Badass trophy over here.
Yeah.
Just saying.
That was last year's with the rain out at Boone. We only got Marshalltown in, but I figured I'd bring that sucker in there.
So you got to keep the trophy then in your garage?
I got 2 of them. I got the mod one and the sport mod one still there. So I figured I'd bring it to you guys as some wall art.
Right on, bud.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, so you like kept both of them? Really?
What am I going to do? What am I going to do with them? Just put an X on it and say, hey, 2026.
Yeah, you should just take a marker and just go, and then put a 6.
A sticker guy that could cover that?
Yeah, wait a minute. I was just going to say, can't you just put a 6 in the cover up over here?
He's pretty good at drawing. So.
They're badass.
Yeah.
I wasn't ever lucky enough to win one, but they're a badass trophy. We always enjoyed doing that. We actually, there was some mention about stock car guys, like, why don't you just do all the classes? Well, that'd be really weird.
I just don't know.
Stock cars.
So, you take that stuff off of a stock car. How are you going to do it when you get back to, like, the B and C pillars on it and stuff like that, the top of the quarters and everything like that?
Oh, yeah.
And then you're going to have, you know, I know they're different now, but like you got a huge cavity. You don't have a deck that goes the whole length of the thing.
Well, and the mods and the sport mods have spoilers,
right.
so it kind of looks like the late model thing a little bit.
And it makes the sport model one look so much cooler without it on there.
Right.
Yeah, but, and I think it was probably 2-3 years into it, or, you know, it was after our first year. And I remember Troy Shute coming up to me and saying, hey, we really like, you know, this is one of my favorite races of the year.
Yeah.
He's like, we appreciate you doing this. And I'm just like, well, if that guy likes it, I don't really care what anybody else says.
Yeah, right.
I'm like, because he watches way more racing than all of us combined.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, if Troy's put his stamp of approval on
Yep.
it, that, yeah, you're doing something right. But so it's what? Take us through. It's $1,000 to win the
draw redraw.
Yep.
You know, still track points. 1,000 to win for sport mods. 1,200 to win for mods. I'm trying to remember exactly what it is, but there is a guaranteed start money for it. Mm-hmm. And the one thing, I don't know if, at least to my knowledge, this is the way it works, but there's only going to be one feature per class at Boone.
Yeah.
There will not be double features for this.
This weekend?
Because it's a special.
It's a special, and Chris brought the money for it.
That's what I've been told.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so wait a minute.
If it's a special,
is that
if it's
just
special,
for modified stock or modifieds, mod lights, and mods? Sport mods.
Sport mods and mods. Mod lights are doing their own thing, but they are going topless from what I understand.
Yeah.
And they're generating their own prize money and everything like that for it.
Yep. I know Josh had talked to Ben George about, and they Austin Gray sent me a message. They wanted to do it. They had asked about doing it last year, but it sounds like they got everybody on board with their mod
Boy,
light
that's
deal.
going to be a little different,
isn't it?
Right? That's going to add a little bit of something too. I think that's cool.
Yeah.
I think that's cool. It's going to be
It's summer, man. Take the top off.
right.
Yeah, no, it's going to be sweet. I think, like I said, this is a cool race that we do or have done the last few years. And like Chris said, there was a little bit of, you know, like people don't like to change, right? But everybody participated, and it's always been a fun, just something different.
Yeah.
And it's something cool for, like you said, for the fans to see.
Fans, photographers, stuff like that. I mean, just to see a different looking car. I mean, it's the same car, but it's different. And you can see the driver, and you can see, I mean, and that's one thing I always thought of them was like, man, if you get some really cool photos of some guys, you know, at attitude, you know, setting the car, doing stuff like that, and looking, you know.
Being that we do have you on the show, I know that I've been not confused or just never even really known. You are allowed to put something directly over the head of the driver, right or wrong?
So what I understand, and that's just, I've kind of left that to the tracks to kind of determine that, but what they've done in the past is, you know, put some kind of like a netting or a mesh or something like that up there. Like I think somebody's put chicken wire up there before, which I get, that's fine, you know. But you're not capping off the top with like a piece of aluminum. You're not. It's topless.
Right.
There's no tops.
They don't do that in the late model stuff.
Right.
I mean, it is completely open.
It's completely open, and they don't have a window net.
Yeah, and they don't have a window net. Right. Like I don't feel like there's any safety issue or anything going. And I just know that there's some confusion on that because there are some people that do put that mesh or whatever they use on top of their race cars.
Yep.
So I wanted to touch base on that just because I didn't know really what the rule was. We have seen, I remember the first year somebody tried putting aluminum up there.
Right. Yeah.
A couple of guys did. And
haven't seen any Bloomquist Lexan window nets or anything like that.
Right.
You know?
But, you know, the thing of it is you see a lot of guys get upside down and you don't see stuff coming directly into the driver's compartment.
Right.
So, good to know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Looking forward to that. And then
same style trophy.
I'm going to change them up a little bit. I'm going to change them up a little bit. Yeah, you'll see them Friday.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm going to bring back the poker chip thing too. I think we've been doing that for a while.
Hey, the poker chip thing's cool.
I know, and that's for a different reason entirely because you're drawing into a bag and pulling out your number. You're not hitting a button.
Well,
and not that I care either way, because I mean, I've had just as good draws from hitting a button or having somebody else do it with the computer as I had myself. Pulling one out. But it is different. It is cool when it feels like you're putting fate in your own hands there.
So we're gonna do a regular draw down in the infield, or we're gonna do like a just depends on how many cars, obviously, right? Starting a 24-car field.
Yep.
For each night at Marshalltown and Boone. Are you just going to have the tech area do the draw?
So how have we done that in the past? I'm trying to remember.
I think
because normally I would give like Josh or whoever like the bag, and like at the sign-in window that'd be your initial draws right there, and then in the infield I think that they've probably done the same thing, haven't they?
Yeah, I think we did it on the front stretch one year too.
That's right. Yep. So I remember last year because I've never ran good at this race ever. Of course, you put your name on something and you're going to look like an idiot. And we go out, and I think we ran second in our heat last year, or 2 years ago at Boone, and Logan Anderson won, and I stuck a valve. I'm like, I'm in the redraw. I'm there. I'm ready to go. I can't race.
Yep.
So I'm like, well, all right, whatever. I guess I'm going to go over here for this thing anyways. But yeah, and we did it on the front stretch. Yeah.
Yeah. So pretty cool event. Have that coming up this weekend. One thing I did want, and I did see a pretty cool commercial that they put on the race over here. Harris Clash.
I can't see it, so go ahead and rub it in. Yeah.
Harris Clash coming up on the 23rd.
I'm telling you what, the Harris Clash at the Boone Speedway will be the second year for the IMCA stock cars in that event. With the amount of cars that have been coming to the Boone Speedway, I foresee big car counts on June 23rd for the 36th running of the Harris Clash, correct?
Yeah.
Because last year was 35. I'm pretty sure last year was 35th.
I got to look now.
Okay, hurry up. We're on the timer.
Yeah, I'm trying. But
the longest running one, or longest
35th.
one day.
This is 35.
Oh, it's the 35th annual.
Yeah, this one's 35.
Harris Clash. Longest, 35 years of running. Longest show. Thank you, Garrett, for that information.
And all that stuff's on harrisclash.com.
I did just register. I seen that they posted that. It's online, the registration for that. It was probably maybe even a week ago. Already, but get on there, save yourself some money by getting online and registering.
Yeah,
for the event.
Yep, get on there, pre-register. It's all, like I said, it's all on harrisclash.com, and man, I'm looking forward to it. It's good getting here. Coming here quick.
Question is last year there were 280 cars. Is that what it was? Something like that. I mean, we could almost see maybe 300 this year, I think. Just because of the hype up of it,
I just feel like that's one that pretty much everybody I know puts on their calendar. I mean, it's not even a question.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
It's a clash.
Seriously.
Doesn't matter if it's, even in years past, if it was like Knoxville or Webster or Boone or whatever, it's like that's just, you're going to that race.
I was literally just going to say that. I've been to so many Harris Clash races at all of those places that you've said, and they have been magnificent.
Yep,
they have been absolutely magnificent. Last year, the racing was great too. I mean, I'm pumped up for it.
It's a crown jewel.
It's a crown jewel, and I'm pumped up for it, and I'm really pumped up for it because it's a half mile from my shop.
Yep. So, can't beat that.
Can't beat that either.
Makes it a lot easier.
Yes, it does.
That's for sure. But yeah, so that's coming up. And we'll have to get Bob on here at some point. I know we were talking about it. Get more details, and I know I talked to him the other day, and he's got a lot of cool stuff. Obviously, they work really hard at getting a lot of good sponsors and doing all that stuff, and making it big, So last year there was 71 sport mods, 81 stock cars, and the 79 modifieds last year.
So there were more stock cars than any other class?
Yep, 2 more stock cars than modifieds last year. So
for their first year. Second year, I think it's going to be Sploder.
Yeah.
I mean, we're already getting so imagine this. We're already getting 40 or not we. The Boone Speedway is already getting 40 stock cars weekly right now. So if they can't pull in 40 more cars for $3,000, to win.
I don't think that would be a problem.
I don't see it being a problem, especially with it being the second year. No, people kind of, but some people were pissed about it coming to Boone Speedway.
Right.
You know,
But
just
I think
because.
it went great.
Oh, it went absolutely great. I'm just saying people were pissed because it's like, oh, Boone gets another special event. Well, sucks to suck sometimes.
Yeah, well, just...
I don't mean that in a bad way either. I'm just saying.
Right.
Sometimes things happen for a reason. So.
I think, like, has it always kind of moved around, though, like, way back in the day? Like, before it was at, you know, even at Kville, like, it was a couple other places, too, prior to that, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it was... They had it at Mason City, I believe, even a couple
Mason
years.
City and Webster City, Deer Creek.
Oh, yeah, Deer Creek. I always forget about Deer Creek.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's moved around quite a few times. So, yeah, looking forward to that. Well,
Bumblebee Nationals are coming up.
Yeah, Bumblebee Nationals. I was just talking, or Logan was texting me about some stuff on that.
Yeah. Hey, front-wheel drive guys, this is your chance here to prove that you're going to promote this event. And, I mean, it could potentially, you just never know, it could potentially turn into maybe a weekly front-wheel drive class at the Boone Speedway in 2027 if they're picking up a bunch of cars for this event and they support it and come to it. I mean, I think
dude, they guys put on some good racing.
They put on some
It's
badass
fun to
racing.
watch.
It is. And you know what? I think it'd be an awesome addition to Boone because it'd be another class that you could put in there in between. You know how they use the hobby stock skinny tire to kind of chew the track up a little bit. Yeah. I think it'd be great. I think it'd be a good addition. So here it is. By the way, the new nose pieces for the front wheel drive cars are badass.
Funny.
I know.
They are.
Yeah, they're cool.
They are so cool.
Yeah.
But what's up after that? Really? Well, the North Dakota tour.
Yeah.
Bobcat on tour.
I'm going to go check it out. I was just telling the boys today, I said, man, last time we went and did that, I spun out twice in hot laps and then ripped the left front off on a tractor tire on the last lap, running dead last.
Yeah.
Hoping for a little better.
Yeah, so we have the Topless Two-Fer coming this weekend. June 13th, we have the Odega Dash, Josh's Hobby Stock Dash.
Odega Dash.
Yep. The 20th is the Hawkeye Challenge and the Sprint Kings.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
You got some sprinters lined up?
Yeah, I just talked to Logan today, so trying to get that all dialed up. And then, Harris Clash and
So
Bumblebee
pretty much
Nationals.
here in like 2 weeks, or actually this weekend,
Got a lot
there's
of stuff
special
going on.
events coming on because then you got the Salute to Veterans after that, the third week in July. You've got, I mean, you're going to, then we're into August and we're almost to Super Nationals already. Boys,
Pretty crazy.
Time flies when you're having fun.
I mean, I'm just saying.
It's it's going fast.
It's exactly, 68 days from now? It's June 1st. No, it can't be that many.
He's doing math over there.
Not good.
You mathing?
I'm mathing.
Oh, man.
So, but anyway, should we go to a quick break? Come back. We'll do question of the week. Moffitt's Mayhem. We did get it.
You guys are going to shit. It's actually 67 days from Prairie. That is retarded. But I was close at 68, bud, just by guessing.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. His mathing wasn't that far off. We got a box to open up, so we did get one sent to the house this week. So from
who?
Another unboxing. Can't tell you.
What do you mean you can't tell me? The name's on it.
I know. Actually, I don't know. I haven't really looked, to be honest with you. But got a box to open. So we'll do that when we come back. Yeah. You've been watching Watermelons and Woodchips. We'll be right back.
Welcome to the Adobe Lounge located in Boone, Iowa at 915 West Maney Eisenhower. Our hours are Monday to Friday, 1 p.m. to close, Saturday and Sunday, noon to close. Come enjoy some of the strongest drinks in town and the best homemade pizzas around. Whether you're stopping in to relax, meet friends, or grab a bite, the Adobe Lounge is the place to be. See you soon.
Attention local racers, the racing season is here. Is your rig ready for the haul to the speedway? Or are you fearing a DNF before you even reach the track? Keep your truck and trailer on the road and out of pit lane with Housby Truck Lube. From oil changes and greasing to full tire and RV service, we've got you covered. Right now, get your rig race ready and take 18% off truck and trailer services. Thanks to this special presented by KCP Racing. That's 18% off to keep your season on track. Plus, ask about our punch cards for even more savings. Call 515-266-8332 or visit HousbyTruckLube.com. Housby Truck Lube, a division of Custom Truck Services.
Welcome back, race fans. Watermelons and Woodchips presented by Central Iowa Diesel Performance. And we have a segment up here that Ben George put together for us. I think he's calling it the Mod Light Minute. And because we had been talking on the podcast about, the power to, wheelbase ratio basically of what the Mod Lights have. And he is going to, I think this is, I haven't this is first.
I haven't seen
first
any
run.
Of it. Yeah.
So this is a video that he actually sent in to us like probably an hour or two ago. So we'll have to, this is going to be a first run for us on this. So we'll send it up to the beautiful TV, G.
For the Mod Light Minute.
I'm Ben George, driver of the 4G Mod Light, and I run weekly at Marshalltown and Boone, and I'm here for a Mod Light Minute. Hearing a lot of talk lately about the Mod Lights biking up or flipping. Also been hearing that it's a track issue, might need addressed. I don't believe any of that. The track doesn't have too much grip in it. The tracks are not too rough. The tracks we're getting this year are very comparable or the same as what we have had in years past. We're getting awesome tracks to race on. I do believe there are a couple factors to the Mod Lights biking up. One of them being we have a very competitive field. We have a lot of very fast cars from previous years that are still out there, and we have a great young crop of young kids or newer drivers that are really finding their own out there, picking up speed and battling for wins right now. It's forcing guys to find that edge, be a little quicker, and one of the issues, I think, to Mod Lights biking up is J-bar angle. The more J-bar angle you put in a car, the more right rear side bite you get. Some is good, too much, and you bike up. You hit a little bit of a hole or a rough spot, car doesn't like it, it bikes up. You catch some grip you didn't think was there, car bikes up. Mod Lights naturally will bike up easier than other classes. We are a smaller, narrower wheelbase car. We're a lot lighter than other cars. It's a very small window to find that speed versus too much angle, too much side bite, and bad stuff happens. There are ways you can address that. You can add a spacer to your right rear. You can loosen the car up. You can move the rear end over. There's a lot of different things you can do to help prevent biking up. Thanks for coming to my Mod Light Minute.
I feel like that's pretty cool. Pretty good explanation. I mean,
he thought about giving away some information there for a minute about like what you could do here and there.
How much is too much?
Like, right. I mean,
this
great.
much?
Yes, great video. I mean, I think that a lot of people wonder that, because the Mod Lights, there could be, Saturday night, wasn't there a rollover in the first couple laps, or was that 2 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago. Obremt was
that's right,
the one that biked up, and then you had Austin Gray biked up on his own here in that heat race a few weeks back.
Yep.
It's a good explanation, and I mean, with those barred cars, it's kind of the same way with I would compare it, I guess, to, I've seen it in the sport mods too, because they're a little more simpler deal, but yeah, you get a Panhard bar buried on that thing, and I've seen them, like, those cars obviously have a wider wheelbase, but I've seen where they'll hop.
Yeah.
Like, they're not going to bike up per se, but they'll hop, in the corner.
Yep. We've seen them bike up. We've seen Ben Cates bike up at Harris Clash. You guys remember when he did that? Went into and just flopped over and just flopped on the top of that thing. I mean, so it can happen in a big car. You see these guys, they do a wheel hop and they're upside down. Like the whole, I think they only have to weigh 1,250 or is it 1,350?
I'm not 100%.
I think it's 12 or 1,350. That 1,250 or 1,350 pounds these guys got to weigh. Like I said, being able to run one of those cars on Saturday in hot laps was a really cool experience because really put it into perspective, like they're turning just as fast as lap times or faster than the modifieds.
I've always heard historically like they're just faster, and that's just, you sit there and think about it, and I'm not in that class, so I really can't comment on it. I can't put myself in their shoes, but you're like, this is the tire that you have. This is, the power that you have. And just with that combination, you just get a different style of racing than anything else. I mean, short of going out and putting a big right rear on it, like a sprint car or something like that, which you're not going to do. Like, I mean, you got what you have, and you got to adjust with, what you're doing track-wise to try to prevent that or try to, alleviate it a little bit, I guess.
Right. Yeah, I mean, if you have an opportunity or know somebody that has a mod light and they'll let you jump in it and you race a big car, I highly recommend it because it really puts a different perspective to it for sure.
Yeah. Well, no, that was cool. Thank you, Ben, for doing that. Want to get to the unboxing. We did get one. I think you're going to recognize this one. So I actually, during the break, I kind of cheated and popped the box a little bit just so that it didn't take.
Oh, did you?
Well, just cut the tape on it. So
okay.
I'll grab this thing. We'll get this
Wheel
baby
around
open.
there, big dog.
Is it fragile?
It says fragile. It's fragiles.
There you go.
Who's opening it?
You can open it.
I'm supposed to open it? Why do I got to open it?
You can open it. I don't think it's the Kong. So.
Whoever, Jesus. Uh-oh. It looks like a driving suit. I'm not even shitting you. Who's got a toad stabber?
One day I don't have a knife on me.
Right? Yeah, no shit.
I know, right?
Oh, yeah. This is a driving suit. I think. Oh. It's a helmet. Hold on here. I got to get my cord out of the way. Okay. This is badass as shit.
Captain America.
Captain America.
The old bandit.
Oh, look at it. Look at the front of it.
Where? What? Oh, Jacob.
Jacob sent it.
Jacob. Definitely Jacob. Fuck. Jacob Gregor. No way did he fit in this. Bullshit. I mean, guys,
is this his brothers?
Oh, that's
Daryl? No.
What's it say on the bottom? Right here.
Where? I can't see.
Hanley Hustler.
The Hanley Hustler? Jacob Gregor sending down his driving suit and helmet. That's pretty badass, huh? Come on. Yeah, bud, this must have been like early, like 2015.
There, he sent me a message.
2014. That's cool as shit.
That helmet is sick.
That helmet is sweet. Show the
sick.
back of that thing. That thing is cool.
I mean, this thing is badass. I mean, I'm thinking about wearing this weekend. Look, it's even got.
It's got the skirt.
It's got the.
It's ready to roll.
It's got the Jake McBurney skirt on it.
It is. Yeah, it's Daryl's suit. He said.
Oh, it's Daryl's suit.
Yep.
Daryl's suit. Okay, that makes a little more sense.
He said.
It's got fresh tear-offs on it and everything, but this just come right off the dash of the Wasota car, bud, guaranteed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that thing is cool.
Yeah.
Got Gregor on her.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What a fun guy that guy is.
isn't he? He comes down, brings the old fish hut. Dude, that thing's badass.
That's cool.
What's the Snell sticker on it? Can you wear it?
I think I can. It doesn't say there.
I can't remember. Is it 2020 or 2015 that we're still good on?
No, this one's out of date.
95.
2010.
Oh yeah, that one's out of date.
Sorry, I'll still you could rip it one night for hot lap. Man, that sucker's cool. It's got a few chips on her still.
That's
wow.
cool.
Thank you, Gregor family.
Yeah,
that's badass. Jacob,
awesome.
Darrell, thank you guys very much. We're going to get this stuff hung up.
Need a mannequin.
I've actually got Ricky Thornton's, one of his suits when he won all the races.
That's sick. Is it Jet one?
No, it's oh man.
One of the Jones ones?
I think it's a Jones one. It's I bought it at Kale. Well, it's not Ryerson, but Chad Ryerson and Sabrina's sons.
Oh,
they
yeah.
had a benefit,
Yep.
and they donated it to that, and I bought
Auctioned it off.
I bought it at that auction.
Nice.
And I'm still waiting to have Ricky sign it, but it was the year that he won the most Lucas Oil.
Yeah, he set the record.
Set the record, yeah. So that's pretty cool, though. I mean, so thank you, Jacob.
That's awesome. That's cool. That's fun. All right, next segment. Obviously, what Jonathan's been waiting for.
I haven't been waiting for it at all. I mean, this has to be the Moffitt's Mayhem of the week. Man,
what is it?
What it is the fact that Robert Lawton claims Jake Sacco Saturday night at the Boone Speedway. There were fireworks and things that conspired at the racetrack that doesn't happen on a normal. However, the fact of the matter of this is that this isn't the first time that it's happened, and it's not the only racetrack that it's ever happened at.
It's a rule.
It is a rule.
Yeah.
You know, we kind of talked about it a little bit earlier. I wasn't even at the track, had no idea anything had happened. And then the whole clan comes to the shop, and I'm like, holy shit, holy cow, this is going to be crazy. Jake calls me, Jake and I are buddies. Jake calls me probably 2 hours on his way home, and of course he's mad and everything. And what I can say from my perspective of it is if I'm Jake Sacco and I'm running for a national title and I'm having as much success as I'm having, I'm almost in the back of my mind thinking I'm going to get bought by somebody at some point. However, everybody knows that there are mid-state machine motors everywhere out there, and I do know that the motor that was in that car is the motor that he won at Super Nationals, which that's what it was designed for.
Yeah.
As far as the motor,
Right, sure.
You auction it off, they give you a new motor, blah blah blah, and it's an awesome thing. It's great that John at Mid States does that.
He's an amazing guy.
Oh,
Also,
John.
I don't run John's stuff, but every time I've gone down there to the chassis dyno,
Yep.
I'll tell you what, I mean, somebody that's willing to work on somebody else's stuff or even get you pointed in the right direction like those guys are, like you've always said, it's well worth your time to go down there and use that dyno.
He's a racer.
He's a racer.
Just like us, and he's in business and he builds a good product, but he also, like you said, he's just will help anybody.
Exactly.
And he's just a frickin' motorhead.
Yeah.
And it's awesome, But if I were Jake Sacco in that position, knowing how Lottie can handle certain situations and I mean, I've been watching Lottie do things, crazy things, like whether it's at the drivers, all of them. I mean, I've seen him rip ass at the top of the VIP place with every driver in the pit area. And I mean, I was just like, whoa.
Yeah.
And guess what? It worked. People started, it was about people tearing their cars up. And, I mean, Lottie was a dick about it. But it needed to be said.
Right.
People were driving people like assholes and tearing each other up. And
you get a point across.
Yeah, and he did. That's exactly what he did, and he's been around a long time. And you know what? We all handle things out of line sometimes in life, and that's just part of it. But if I were Jake Sacco, running for a national title, knowing that I'm going to race at Boone Speedway for a national title to try to win that championship, because I know that Jake has had the tracks picked out, where he's going to race to try to get this title. He wants to get a title before he moves up.
Right.
I would have sold. I mean, the rule sucks. It's been that way before we were involved with it.
Right. It's nothing new.
It's nothing.
When you buy
new.
your license at the beginning of the year, you know that that's something that could potentially happen.
Yes, correct. And, last year, so last year when he claimed Matt Luft, it exploded the internet because nobody does it anymore,
Right.
I was going to say, I'd almost take the opposite side where it's like, I don't think it happens enough. I mean, and I know, like you said, that there's a lot of buzz whenever something like this takes place. Everybody's putting their opinion in. And I really can't, put myself in Jake's shoes or Lottie's shoes. And I'm not going to speculate on any of that stuff back and forth. But, I mean, just from my own perspective with what we're doing, if we were good enough that we were going to get bought, I wouldn't have a problem selling it myself. I mean, like I said, I don't know anything about the interaction or whatever took place. But at its core, I think it's a rule that kind of helps, on its face, corral cost and keep stuff down. From my interpretation, that's what it's there for. If you have a car, and Jake, that motor was not. John puts out a good piece, no doubt about it.
Right.
Jake is a great race car driver, and he's got a car that he can do things with it that, like what we were just talking about, that others won't even try, and he makes it look easy. But if it comes down to letting a motor go or something like that, there again, I can't put myself in his shoes. But in my own, I don't have a problem moving that motor because I have the option to go buy another one next week.
Right. And the thing of it is there are a lot of people out there that are running these good motors, and that's just part of it. I mean, you can build your own motor.
Yeah, I've done it.
We talked about it. Yeah, I have too. I mean, and you can go out and be competitive with it and everything. Be competitive enough to where, okay, I built this motor and it's going to make me competitive enough to win a race where I could be claimable at times.
Right. Absolutely.
And the rule, back in the day, my dad lost 79 motors of the claim. So I don't want to hear nobody bitch.
It was getting used.
He was getting used 100%. Yeah. One time my dad laid a snapping turtle on the dash of his race car while they pulled the motor out of that thing. And I ain't shitting you.
Have you ever, and I know he's got a lot of stories, but there was a Speedway Illustrated article, I think, a year or 2 years ago where they were talking about the motor claim and stuff like how it used to be. And guys just doing crazy stuff like welding forks to crankshafts and, using different fasteners and, making breakaway stuff, just because they knew the thing was going to be gone the next day.
Right. And it always boiled down to, Don Portwine you guys remember Don Portwine raced the number 7 car. Mm-hmm. And he come up to my dad one time and was like, Logue, I just don't get it. I got a brand new $5,000 motor and you drive by me every week, and my dad at that time was losing motors every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday if we were racing on Sundays, or everybody just thought it was his motors. And my dad ran a lot of 377 and 355s, and he'd run a 383, at bigger shows, and he always ran a 406 at Britt because it just ran good there. But he sold all of them and claimed a couple, and then gave them back, or it ended up not going through or whatever. And I just think that in the heat of the moment, I feel that things didn't go as expected. And then, of course, with social media and all the video stuff.
You get a bunch of different narratives. Yep.
You got a bunch of negativity about it. But hold on a minute. The promoter's claim has always been there.
Yep.
And it's been there for a long time. And like I said, Jeremy Mills got claimed at Britt one night. I can't remember who the promoter was, but they claimed him, because he backed out. They did it to Brian Irvine. They did it to to Joe McBurney in 2007. It has been around, and so when you have something like this that is not ever around and it happens, it's going to cause a stink.
Right. It's almost like it's just like, yeah, like you said, it's one of those things that people kind of forget is in there.
Right.
And it can happen,
It's no different like the NFL when one of them guys that we pay millions and millions of dollars to play football, they go out and they fuck up and, one of them punches a girl or whatever, and it's like, oh, my God. That's like what's going on right now with this situation. You know what I mean?
I think it's
shock value almost.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And I think it's looked at more like a nuclear option, like something that's just like, whoa, what just took place? And it doesn't, regardless if it's a promoter claim or racer on racer or something like that or however. But, and I sat here and thought last year when this thing, when that one happened, I was like, what would it look like if more people started doing it? And the way that I interpret the rule, how it's written and stuff like that, I don't feel like, anybody, it sucks the first night. I have no doubt about that. Because, if you were going to go somewhere to, the next day, then you're like, well, sweet, I hope I got one on the floor back in the shop that I can put in, or I can do something like that. But you got the option the next time you're at the track to do the same thing.
Right.
And and I'm talking hypothetically here, if it's a racer on racer deal or something like that, and you're going and trying to take down the biggest, baddest dude because you think the motor's the answer, I've got, sorry, brother, that ain't the answer.
Right. Right. And would I be pissed? Well, yeah, absolutely. That goes same thing. Like, yeah, shit. But like I said, back in the day, there were multiple. That's what people went to the racetrack to see. Like, oh man, this guy claimed Logue last week. Is he going to run up front, or does he have the motor in, or who's going to get claimed this week? And it really died down when stuff started really getting not out of control, but when stuff really started elevating in price and motors and stuff. But so there again, you can claim a motor for $500, you get one, and then it's an exchange.
Yep.
So you're getting a motor back. Mm-hmm. Do I agree with it? No, but there's not just all bad things with it.
Right.
And so you can still go and claim a motor. Like Jake could have went and put a motor in and went and bought another motor, and it was probably, depending on who it is, he's probably getting
the same thing or better.
Yeah, or just a little bit better. It might have 15 nights on it instead of Jake's motors. So we refer this about Jimmy Gustin all the time. Like anything that Jimmy Gustin races, if he races, he says he's got 10 nights on it, it's actually got 20.
Mm-hmm. Jake gets a lot out of his stuff.
That's what I'm saying. He gets a shit ton out of his motors. Yeah. And it's no different. Like the first year we won Super Nationals with a Carl's motor, it was a motor we had $3,100 in. I'm not shitting you. And Brian Schraggy's dad, so we bought it back, and that was the next year we won the Nationals again with that same motor. And the guy, Schraggy's dad, was like, I'm buying that motor. I'm like, dude, you're going to be disappointed. Like, seriously disappointed. Nope. And I wanted it because I had won 2 races with it, big shows. I literally stood there with my hand held up until, I don't even remember what we got over. It was $7,900 or something like that. It went for good money. Mm-hmm. Seen him about 3 weeks later at Marshalltown, and he's like, man, you weren't lying. And I'm like, I told you, he's a machinist, So I really wish things wouldn't have escalated like they did. But I also can relate to that because there's times where I'm just talking with my hands and shit, and it looks like I'm super pissed off, and I mean,
hey, how was breakfast yesterday?
Yeah, literally,
Right.
literally. So, the internet, man, they really clickbaited a lot of people, and a lot of people got involved in it, and it was no different than when Matt Luft, got claimed. I mean, we had lunch the other day, and he didn't see any problem with what happened on Saturday. So,
Right. I mean, it's like you said, it's people are going to have their opinions about it, good or bad, and there's obviously, with as much as Jake's been winning, there's 23 other guys or whatever in those features that aren't winning those races, so they're going to feel differently, right? I mean, that comes with any type of competition.
Well,
right?
and here's the other thing though too with that. I think, in my opinion, if the double feature stuff is going to continue like this at Boone Speedway, in my opinion, I think because Jake's not that dominant at Stewart or the other places he races. He ran third tonight. Braden Carter picks up the $3,000 win at the Sandbox. So, like, you know what I mean? It's not. What am I trying to say here?
That motor did not define Jake.
That motor does not define Jake. So, and I feel like if we're going to continue on with the double feature stuff, I think you guys need to take the top 20 guys in points. And that's what needs to be, they need to be raced together. The top 20 or the top 24. If you're going to do two features, top 24 guys in points. Because then I don't know if Jake necessarily dominates like he has in some of the features. Now, that's no jab at any racer or anything, because it's always circumstantial stuff too.
Right.
That's always going on in a race, no matter what. Somebody's braking, or somebody's getting bent out of shape, or somebody breaks and assholes somebody.
Really good at Boone.
Right. Ever since I gave him my notebook, he started winning races there. That's really what it came down to. I mean, I got messages. I can prove it. I'm just kidding, Jake. But so, what an explosion on it. I think it's going to stand. It really sucks, in my opinion, as far as, it is. Jake Sacco knows he needs to move up. We've all been there. He knows that. I understand. I tried chasing the national title the last 2 years. I was in a sport mod before I moved up, and, everybody said that I couldn't do it without my dad's money, and proved that. It's not that much to move up to a modified. He's going to do big things in a modified, in my opinion, just because of his driving style. But there's also a lot of fans that are going to miss the 14 car for the next month just because of the decision that they made, and that sucks, because like I said, I like watching Jake race too.
Right.
Yeah.
He's fun to watch out on the racetrack.
He puts on a show.
He's got a level of confidence in his stuff that it's unreal sometimes. Like we were talking about, where just the highlights from last week, where it's like going into 3, and it's like just gonna split them and go in there. Yep. Roll on out. Clean as a whistle.
Yeah, exactly. And so this little hiccup, obviously isn't going to detour anything else that he's doing. It just sucks that it takes him out of that national title. I know he really wanted to get one of them before he hung up his sport mod career and moves to either do a modified. I'm trying to sell him a stock car.
There you go.
Get him into a stock car, but I think the modified class is where he really needs to be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he'll. Like I said, some of the stuff, I don't know. Like I said, it'll come out the other side fine,
Well, and I want to elaborate on this a little bit too with this situation. Any promoter at any track can do this. Mm-hmm. So people saying, "Oh, isn't there a designated claim area? Isn't there this? Isn't there that?" You gonna let me come into your house and tell you can or can't take a shit wherever you want?
Right. It's my house, brother. I can do what I want.
I'm just saying,
right?
And that's a pretty cutthroat, but Boone Speedway's been cutthroat. And like I said, I don't agree with it at all. I think it's bullshit. But rules are rules. And every time I've been on this side of this shit, it sucks. I mean, it ruined my making the Super Nationals every year over this much on a goddamn shock.
Right.
Which IMCA knew that was bullshit that they were DQing me for it on a right rear shock. And they turned around and they DQ'd my dad in the same year. You know, like, but that's the rule.
Right.
It doesn't matter.
Right.
That's the goddamn rule.
It's black and white.
It's black and white. Right. And that is why they did what they did. And like I said, I don't like it, but rules are rules. Everybody's got to follow rules. Exactly. Yeah. So hopefully everybody moves on from it. It's going to be the big hype up and the big talk about it, you know, here for a while. And, you know, maybe it started something, you know.
Yeah.
But here's my next question. Does Jake Sacco get claimed again after his 30-day suspension is over, like the Matt Loof deal, and then he just says, you know what, screw this, I'm moving up? That's going to be the big question. Is that going to happen to him? Time will tell. We got 30 days. Or does he just say, you know what, screw it, I'm not going to pay the fine, I'm not going to cave in and go race USRA?
Yeah, I don't know.
No one knows.
Right.
No one knows.
Just up, whatever.
Or does Jake Sacco just wait and then come back at Salute to Veterans and just do some mopping?
Just picks up where he left off.
I mean, It sucks that the one weekend that we're going to run a 1A feature, he can't be there. I mean, it is your show. Do you want to make an exception? Because it isn't special.
Not my choice.
Does it have to be sanctioned?
It is sanctioned.
All right.
Yeah, it's got to be sanctioned.
Yes, it will be sanctioned.
Okay, you might get an email in the morning. No, I'm kidding.
Well, let's move on to Elmquist Towing Question of the Week. And we had been kind of talking about some stuff and actually I was thinking about a story from what my dad was talking about when he used to race. And so I was like, I wonder what people's best cheater story is.
I got one.
Like, yeah,
you know which one I'm going to talk about.
Yeah. But, you know, the Elmquist Towing Question of the Week was, what's your best cheater story? And we've got some pretty good ones on here. You know, some of them, might be a little biased, obviously, in the comments, but when they're talking about other people. But, you know, the one that my dad always told me was, and he put one in here in the comments as well, but one that he always told me as a kid was when he was racing street stocks back in the day, Brian Nevins was like always the dude. Like he was the guy that you wanted to be.
Yeah, Iowa Ace.
Yeah, and like he had wider tires on, and Buddy Moran came over I think Lottie or Buddy Moran both came over sitting in staging, was like, don't finish in the top four. Like the Buddy had a tape measure on the tires because they were, however much wider than what you could run. And Dad goes, we're racing, and man, I just wanted to race with this guy because he was the dog.
He was the stuff.
Have you
ever talked to Senior before? He's a really cool dude.
Yeah, a long time ago. It's been a while, and like, he's like, we're racing really hard, and he goes, all of a sudden I see the green flag up high, and he's like, oh man, I gotta like back off because they told me don't finish in the top four, and this was late 80s, I believe, and he said he backs off, and Dad's like, I'm still waiting for cars. Like, he's like, so I'm still racing. I fall in behind him, let him go more and more. I go next corner, I go in and jump the cushion. Nobody's still passing, whatever. And by the end of the race, he ends up finishing second because, like, those two were that much further out ahead of everybody because they were racing so hard. And, yeah, needless to say, Lottie just points him straight off the racetrack. Like, don't even pull into the pit.
Can't do that, bud.
Yeah, don't even pull into the tech area. So I thought that one's always been a story and I could be messing it up, but that's always one that stuck out to me ever since I was a little kid, him telling that story. Burke, I know you have a good one.
Yeah, so it was the first year of Super Nationals I was ever at, and I think it was either my first or second year in a sport mod. And I'm just out there. Like, I'm not threatening or anything like that. I'm just, minding my business, putting around. And I think Lucas Lambries was in that heat with us, and he was fast, man. Like, I mean, especially in sport mod stuff, like at that point in time. And I'm like, well, we're gonna run second to this cat, like, you know, whatever. And I got doored by somebody, and then somehow I ended up back in front of him, and going across scales at won a heat race Super Nationals. I've never done that. Still haven't done it. Ran second more than a handful of times, but I've never won one.
Was that was your first ever heat race win in a big car too, right?
Yeah. First ever heat race win, and that was in the old Dirt Boss car. And I think it was like the night before, like we were having chip issues. Like our chip box something was wrong with it, and it wasn't the new style one. It was the actual chip. And Bill helping me, as he always did back then, still does. He's like, all right, we'll figure this out. You know, we'll wire one up and get it in there. And I think it was like the day of the race, like we're at the track and we still haven't got this thing in yet. And he's like, I'll get it. You know, he gets it figured out, wired up, you know, check it, works, great, fantastic. Go out there, do that, go across scales. Gutowski was doing tech still at that point in time. And, you know, I saw Cody over there and I'm just like, dude, this is sweet. Like, I'll get the Casey's hat. Like, I'm going to be up there. And it's like, yeah, you're disqualified. And it's like, what? And it's like, yeah, you got 2 chip boxes. And I'm like, huh? And so pull crawl panel back, look in there. There's 2 chip boxes. There's one bolted to the inside with a pigtail coming off it that was cut because we just didn't pull it off. We just left it in there and cut it. And then the other one's hooked up and operational, and the other one was not operational. But you cannot have 2 chip boxes. It is there. It does say that. You cannot have 2 chip boxes. So I don't know if that was necessarily, like, I mean, I wasn't doing it intentionally. I wasn't, like, cheating, but I was cheating to the letter of the law.
Right.
I still remember this because I was so jacked for him. I was, like, so pumped up. And then I see him, like, pointing at shit, and then they end up giving the hat to, I think, was it Lucas?
Yeah, I think Lucas won that one.
Yeah, so then Lucas ends up, and I'm like, oh.
And that was, you know, there's a lot of racecraft on the track.
What did Bill say when you got back to the trailer?
Oh, dude, he was heartbroken.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, he was so bummed, and I'm just like, it's not that, it's fine, Bill. Like, you know. But that kind of got me thinking, you know, after the fact, because coming through the go-kart world, you're getting teched on everything, restrictor plates, all that stuff. And if you can argue your point, you know, you feel a little bit more confident when you're in that area and stuff, you know, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Right.
But, you know, Tom was like, this is the way it is. And I'm like, I don't know anything about these cars. And I'm like, and I haven't read that rule book. I'm like, so I can't even do anything here. You know, you're right. I'm wrong. See ya.
Right.
But
yeah.
Wowzers.
Mm-hmm.
But
still haven't won one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we'll get another one. It's okay.
Yeah, we'll get another one.
Keep trying.
7 years later,
still ain't got one. That'll happen.
But yeah, I thought that was kind of cool. And there's some really, really cool. I mean, it's up to 50 comments right now with people posting their stories on there of them doing stuff and not getting caught or getting busted or whatever. But kind of inspired, like I said, after Todd was talking about that on the one episode where they had been doing the dials, the ACS, right. and I kind of fired that up, and I was like, oh yeah, I wonder what anybody else got on. It was good. Yeah. So, do we have anything else we need to cover as far as?
Yes, we do. We do have something we need to cover. Raceway, Sports Park Raceway.
There you go.
Went up there last night. Season opener, first time being IMCA since, does anybody know when?
It's been a minute.
So whenever the flying electrician had it last was the last time it was IMCA. We get up there last night, and hot laps were at 5. They started a little later than that. They had 94 cars. They had 8 classes. They didn't have a lot of cars in all the classes, but they had a good field of hobby stocks. They had 15 stock cars, I think 10 or 11 mods. They had a good field of sport mods. I think they had 7 Crown Vics, a couple vintage cars, some sport compactors. But holy cow, They shortened up the racetrack, but it doesn't race like it's shortened up. I don't mean that in a bad way. They had multiple lanes in the heat races. The only thing that I was scared shitless was is you going into turn 3, you could not see going, like if guys were hanging their tire off coming out of 2, you just literally couldn't see anything in front of you. They addressed it right away, got the water truck out there, they watered it down. The check-in process was, super fast. The racing, I was literally loaded up and backing my stuff out at 8:30. And man, everybody was super friendly. They had a hobby stock. They had some wrecks and some cautions and stuff, and man, they executed great. I had a great experience there.
I want to try that place out.
Everybody was kind of saying, "Oh man, the rocks." And I remember we used to race there on Friday nights back in the day when they first opened up. When Dave Doty and stuff ran it, and I remember. If you're going to run Fort Dodge for a whole season, you were buying a new helmet at the end of the season, or you had at least a fucked up knuckle or something, I think that they just need people to go up there and support it. And if they can run 8 classes and not have any catastrophic stuff happen, be able to get us out of there by 8:30 on a Sunday night. But Vinton does the same thing. But it's nice that there's something over here now.
Correct. I was going to say, it's nice to – I remember going to Stewart on Sunday nights, with Joel and Bill and them guys, and that was just like the cap to the weekend. And as soon as I saw Fort Dodge was going to do the same thing, I'm like, that is an awesome option to have now.
Seriously.
To be able to go do that.
Yeah. And the tech guys, they did an excellent job. They tech stuff. They got a nice scale area up there. The pit area is nice. The food was good. Man, they just, they had stuff going on. They had fans in the stands. I honestly couldn't believe how many cars were there for opening night, just because they kind of had not a bad rap, but, they had some hiccups over the years. And
you're starting from scratch again, basically.
Yeah, and I tell you what, Jeff Freevert, if that's how you say his name, I think that's how you say it, but him and Brandon Tofty have moved mountains and out there. Jeff did all that work. We were informed that he did all that work with a grader. And Brandon's been out there putting a ton of work in, and it is something. We are definitely going back just because I had fun. I had the wrong gear in. I will say, if you're running an IMCA stock car, you better have an 83 or a 6.0 in, because it still races.
What's that comparable? Because I don't have a stock car, but where else are you running that gear at?
So I'm running an 83 at Corning.
Okay. Yep.
Or a 67 or an 83 is what I would run at Corning. So when I ran Fort Dodge in my sport mod, I always ran a 500 because we're on a crate.
Yep, makes sense.
So I don't think that it's changed much from them. And then
it's a much wider racing surface.
Yeah, you could really charge the corners really, really hard.
So you could potentially have a guy run a different gear if there's a bottom, and a completely different gear if he's on the top. He's committing.
Correct. I had a 620 in, and I tell you what, boys, in the heat race, I was on the chip at the flag stand, just driving directly to the bottom, going. When I come in, the motor, the old tongue was hanging out of her a little bit, but never did get hot. And then I was lucky because it kind of went down to the bottom. Scott Olson and I found the bottom down there, and we charged right up there, and I wasn't chipping as bad. You could run a 620, but you're going to be committed to the bottom, 100%. So super excited for that place up there. Like I said, we pull in there, and it had been a long time since I'd been there. So it was kind of cool to see all the shit they had going on. And they're going to have a 1,000-win IMCA stock car show up there here in 2 weeks. So get out there and support that place and check it out. It's another great place to go on a Sunday.
For sure.
Yeah, no, it's pretty cool. I always enjoyed going up there, when Jason had it, and
Jason and Isaac, they come up. They were up there.
Yep, yeah, and I think when, we worked at Powerlift there and when Doty had it and raced up there a lot.
Yeah.
That was.
Oh, shit. Also, real quick, I ran into Marty Pringle. The museum.
Yes.
Man, if you have not checked out the Racing Museum in Algona, it's open on Saturdays or by appointment. There's over, I think he said 85,000 pictures in there or something. He's got a ton of cars in there. He has put his everything into that place. And if you have not been up there to check it out, please get up there and check it out. They've got a Facebook page. We're trying to spread the word around and get it out there. There's so much cool racing memorabilia in that building. There's all kinds of stuff. You got to go and check it out. So Marty stopped down last night and hadn't seen him in a while, so it was kind of nice to see the old MP.
Yeah. Yeah, and that, like I said, I still have not been up there, but I definitely want to make it a point to get up there because I'm a racing history nerd anyway. So, I definitely need to go up there because I would be immersed in that place for hours. I'm sure.
Maybe we just need to go up there and check it out and take the cameras to the podcast and just go up there and maybe show some of that stuff. And because some people, are more visual than
they ain't readers.
They're not
they're
readers.
Lookers.
They're lookers. You guys liked that one, didn't you?
Picture lookers.
Picture lookers.
When you were talking about giving Jake your notebook and him calling you all the time, I'm like, he was probably just trying to figure out what that letter was or what this word was.
100%. 100%.
Yep. You got the crayons out.
Is that a squiggle or what?
Yeah. But on that, we'll try to wrap things up here. First and foremost, I want to thank Central Iowa Diesel Performance. Obviously, Moffitt's Ford, Elmquist Towing, Performance Bodies.
Hey, hold on. One more thing.
Yes.
Logue Fabrication's going to do a drawing giveaway for 2 pit passes to the Harris Clash.
Okay.
All right. Logue Fabrication is going to do 2 pit pass giveaway. And I tell you what, let's do that for the Harris Clash. Cody will come up with something on our channel. And I was going to say that earlier, and then you went directly into thanking our sponsors. I'm like, shit, I need to fit this in here.
Oh, yeah.
So sorry to interrupt.
No, you're good.
Anyway, so stay tuned. Cody's going to figure something out to do a drawing giveaway.
Yeah.
For the Harris Clash.
No, that'll be awesome. We need to get back to scheduling some more of that giveaway stuff. But that'll be a good way to kick it off or get something put together so that you get some people. Hopefully it's somebody that, was on the fence and now they'll be there.
Right.
So
you just never know.
But like I said, want to thank Central Iowa Diesel Performance. Talked to Jed for a long time today and talked to those guys over there. Great people. Jake at Elmquist for helping out. Performance Bodies. Josiah Taylor ended up winning the $50 gift card on Saturday. So
nice.
He got the
doubled up.
Yeah, so he got
I still haven't got mine.
Yeah. You haven't?
Nope.
Oh, wow. I know a guy that's got them stashed.
I know a guy too.
But I need to get that to you. But anyway, who else am I? Adobe Lounge.
Houseby Trucking.
The Houseby Truck Lube. They're still doing their 18% off.
Barntown.
Barntown for obviously stocking up our fridge for us. And Logue Fab, P1P Canopy. I said Elmquist. Yep. But
how about Garrett? Let's thank Garrett.
Yeah. Our real resident Red over here in the corner is making this stuff happen for us. But and Chris Burke for coming on. We're looking forward to the
great story, bud. Really great story. I did not know that's how it all started for you. That's a lot of people don't know people's stories and how much effort and time and to see where you started. I didn't see any of your go-kart stuff, but moving into the sport mods and where you're at now, I was really rooting for you. I mean, I know we tuned that airflow system on Saturday, but it's been fun to watch your career grow into what it is, and see the success finally start coming back to the trailer.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, and obviously, like, we appreciate the help with the special, and
you guys got to come up with something new now. If the mod lights are jumping in on this deal, there's got to be. I know it's. What have you guys been calling it? The double.
Well, we've had a couple names for it. It's,
right.
Topless Two-Fer, since it's Boone and Motown.
Right.
The Twin Dirty 30s, because they're 30 lappers for both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Which is kind of cool anyway. I mean, a 30 lap race.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Dirty 30s.
That's some attrition.
So we might have to just throw in a case of Dirty 30s.
I think Jerry does.
Jerry did that.
Does he?
Yeah.
Oh, that's badass.
Did he throw stones? Or the keystones?
Were they stones?
Highlights.
Oh, man, that's even better.
Highlights.
Yeah.
Highlights.
Oh,
champagne.
Oh, headache.
Yeah.
But that's still badass that he threw in the Dirty 30s. I mean, that's pretty cool.
30 rack up there on the
Jared,
deck.
don't forget to do that this year, please.
Yeah. But right on. Well, we'll close things out. I'm sorry.
What are you sorry to?
Oh, Garrett sent me the power rankings reminder as well.
Bud.
Oh, man.
Totally blew past that. I've had a couple things going on here. I was like, why is Garrett?
Pay attention, Jonathan.
Why is Garrett texting me right now?
You're pulling that up. I was thinking about this, too. What if you guys did Doom Scroll power rankings?
He said something about that today.
It could work. Chris would be all about it, I'm sure.
I'd be in there. Like,
yeah, right. He was at the races on Saturday.
Yeah, I saw him running around over there and taking videos.
He's got that little scooter and shit.
Okay, Adobe Lounge power rankings before we get to the end. It's got Mike Smith 1, Jeremy Mills 2, still has Sacco at 3, Todd Schutz 4, Avila 5, Sourman 6, Eric Knutson 7th, Austin Gray 8th, Jimmy Gusson 9, and Brian Ziem 10. So you fell out.
Weird.
Fell out.
Yeah, I know. I've actually contacted my lawyer about this. Like, there's some shit going on. I'm not even going to talk about it. Not even going to talk about it. Did I fall out of the top 5 for the stock car portion?
I didn't get that far.
Give us a scroll real quick.
Well,
is it that easy or
not? Let me see. I'll have to look at my spreadsheet. I don't know. I'll figure out the rest.
Can you email that to me?
Yeah, I'll figure out the rest of the spreadsheet and send them. But yeah, so
that is horseshit.
Yeah. Well,
I know it's not your fault. I sucked.
Don't finish 8th.
I sucked on Saturday.
But all right, yes. Thanks for the reminder, G. But on that, let's close this thing out and head for the hills. But like I said, we want to thank Chris. Come to Boone Speedway in Marshalltown this weekend for the Topless Two-Fer. Add mod lights into that, so that'll be good. But I think that's all I got, boys, unless you got. All right. All right, we're going to sign off for this week. Episode 36 in the books. We thank you guys for watching. You've been watching Watermelons and Woodchips. We will see you next week.
Welcome to the Adobe Lounge located in Boone, Iowa at 915 West Maney, Eisenhower. Our hours are Monday to Friday, 1 p.m. to close, Saturday and Sunday, noon to close. Come enjoy some of the strongest drinks in town and the best homemade pizzas around. Whether you're stopping in to relax, meet friends, or grab a bite, the Adobe Lounge is the place to be. See you soon.